Testing the audio. 1, 2. How are we? How are we on the audio? 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Hello, all you lonely lovers out there. Testing 1, 2. Welcome to Late Night Radio. This is Jerrel. I'll be your host this evening, all you lovebirds out there tonight. Testing 1, 2. That audio looks fine to me. So I plug that in. That should be, yeah, that looks great. Fantastic. Let's go ahead and open that project. Okay, it looks like, why does it say no data on that? It says no data. Why does it say that? Okay. Alright. Well, regardless of what YouTube says. Hey, Alice Manson. Good to see you. Thanks for coming to hang out. That looks... that camera is too high. That's too high. Yeah, let me go ahead and lower that. Okay. No, still too much. Hey, so it's Paddy's Day. In Australia, it's Paddy's Day tomorrow. So I'm gonna have to stop every once in a while and practice some of my Irish songs I'm playing at the pub tomorrow for Paddy's Day. So today we will be creating some monsters, and we'll be setting up some weapons. So we'll do the graphics for monsters and weapons for Breath of Thunder, and we can get some battles sorted out and ready. We'll implement some special effects for magic and whatnot, and then we'll very soon have a demo ready for people to play for Breath of Thunder. So, okay, here's a little bit of what's... I can just show you the whole thing actually, because this is the PC version of Unity. Nothing special with the PC version. There's no NDA, nothing that has to be kept secret here. This is just normal, good old Unity for the PC. So, alright. Hi. How's it going? Good to see you. So actually, these glasses are supposed to be bright green, right, for Paddy's Day. But because of the whole green screen thing, it probably doesn't look that green very much. Okay, so I'm just going to look for my base skeleton structure really quickly here, and then I'll bring that on screen, and then I can show you. I'm going to be properly embarrassed if I don't have it here. Okay. Alrighty. Let me see. I'm just going to have to bring in an asset then. 1 second here. So I have a bunch of animal skeleton systems, and I have dozens and dozens of animations that I've done ahead of time. So to save myself doubling up on work that doesn't need to be done again, I'm going to create my monsters for Breath of Thunder using these skeletons and animations that I've made for animal type things before, as that saves an immense amount of work, and there isn't a reason for me to double up on that work and do it all over again. So here we go. Just find it here, and I'll bring that in here. And I will have to stop. It's a little quiet at the moment, isn't it? Let me find something. I'm gonna have to stop and practice Irish music every once in a while. Again, it's Paddy's Day tomorrow, so I'm in Australia. Paddy's Day is tomorrow, and I'm playing at the pub, so I'm gonna have to practice some of my music. I just realized Paddy's Day rolled around very quickly. I've been working nonstop, and I have not been practicing my music. So I'm gonna have to practice that a little bit. So I hope you don't mind. Okay, I'm just gonna play a little bit of music in the background. Let me know if it's too loud or anything like that.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've been asked to sing a song which has 7 verses. We're only allowed to sing 5 of them.
Oh, this song. I'm just gonna put that in the background. where my own horse should be. I never saw before, as drunk could be, where my own coat should be. Oh man, okay, so I don't have the files that I need. I'm gonna have to download them and bring them into a project. Okay, that's just how it is. Good to see you guys. Blue Basher, hi, good to see you. Matthew Williams, hey, Krunkus, good to see you. A bunch of asterisks, a bunch of... okay, the volume is alright. Okay, so I'm going to show you how it works here. I'm just getting some files here. I actually think I may need to step into my... office and just grab some files very quickly. No, I'll do that later. I'll wing it here. So, with the graphical style for Breath of Thunder, I'm making all of the graphics, the characters, and everything out of components, out of single meshes and whatnot. Glasses go so hard. It's Patty's Day. It's Patty's Day tomorrow. I'm playing at the pub. I'm playing music. So I just got to practice a little bit. So I'll do a bit of work. I'll practice. So front. So I'm building components that I use for the monsters. So right now I need a quadrupedal monster for the demo. The demo will have only a couple enemies, probably only 2. That's what I have time for right now. So we'll have the little blob creature, and then we'll have something quadrupedal. So what I'm going to do here is build them out of components. I've gotten a couple complaints from people that said that my graphics for Breath of Thunder look lazy, and I don't think they understand the intention of the aesthetic here. There's so many reasons why I'm doing it in this way, and I don't think people get that. I think they think, oh, this is a lazy developer, he's just doing easy graphics. So unfortunately, I think it's just going to escape some people, you know. What I'm doing, people just aren't going to get it. And that's totally fine, you know, no big deal. And yeah, if you have any questions, always, you know, feel free to ask. So I start out with primitives, and then I modify the primitives. I just sort of bend them into shape, as it were. I modify the vertices, and I bend them into shape until they are the shape that I want them to be. So what I need right now is, I'm going to make the rest of his body out of sausages, right? So his head is a sphere. And then let's go ahead and get this tool, bring that open, and height is a little bit long. Height doesn't super matter at the moment, but I'll leave it at that. Radius 1030, axis divisions 10. I'll go 12. Cap divisions will make it smooth. Whoa, no. She'll go 3. Make that 4. We want it nice and smooth because we're going to build his body out of sausages. Okay? Axis divisions, height divisions. Oh no, we need that more. We need that like 6 and 4. We want rounded. Is this Blender? What software? This is Maya 2019. I only have old software. I don't have the funding to upgrade to the latest versions and all that, so I use older software. Yeah, it sucks. So I mostly use older stuff, and if I can use free stuff. You know. Like for sculpting, I use Sculptress, which is old and outdated and free. Okay, so that body sausage is too long. Okay. So, might bring that down to 15 and 6, and let's see how that looks. Okay, is this okay for body sausage? Still really long for a base body sausage, so let's go ahead and undo there. So his neck is going to be made out of these, I think if we went 8, and we'll bring that down to 10 because I'm starting to think that's probably too many. Here's the thing, you need a fine balance of blockiness and smoothness. You don't want it to look bad, but you want to have a sense of that blockiness because I'm using visual evocation to remind people of visuals from the late 90s, early 2000s. You know, I'm not sure if I want that 10. I'll just put it at 12, you know. So it's a fine balancing act. It's not lazy. It's certainly a different challenge producing a game in this visual style. So I'll just go ahead and whip these into shape here. That's going to be the neck. I'll resize that as we go. You know, don't worry about that. Let's go ahead and get ourselves another body sausage here. Make sure I save this as I make progress. Does anyone have any? Yeah, feel free to ask any questions. You guys can chat about whatever you want. It doesn't even need to be about Breath of Thunder or games. You know, it could be investment advice, how to get the perfect tan. You want to start your own car rental business. You guys can ask any questions you want. It doesn't mean that I know that what I'm talking about, but I'm happy to answer any questions you've got. Let's see. I'll just call this guy Mini Claw for now. Everyone like red glasses, I agree. Yeah, they're supposed to be bright green, of course, because of the green screen. They probably look a bit dark on the stream. Okay, let's get another body sausage in there. So that's my neck. King of the Bread, hey, good to see you. From what the trailer showed, the visual style looked really nice. I appreciate that. Thank you. It's like that with my Silver Falls games. I create them with a very specific intention. My Silver Falls series, and I knew from the very beginning, from the get-go, that in general people are not going to get what I'm doing. They're not really going to understand Silver Falls, and they're going to think it's bad. I often hear from people that, you know, kind of tried the games like, oh, the games are unpolished and bad. And my intention, I'm gonna pause the music for a little bit. With my Silver Falls games, they're not meant to have AAA polish. The only games that I'm not really that happy about are like Episode Prelude, where I was basically, as a developer, I was basically just at the very bottom of my career, in that I was so disappointed that I believed that once I went from 3DS to Unity, that Unity would work and it would be fine. And I had a nightmare couple years developing for 3DS because Unity was utterly broken. And then I thought, no, everything's going to be fine once I get to the Switch. Well, I got to the Switch, and then that was utterly broken as well. And absolutely nothing worked properly. Everything was an absolute, you know, glitch fest. And so I made this game that I was trying to make as good as I possibly can, and I realized, great, I'm going to get slammed for this game too, and people are going to say I'm a bad developer, and what can you do about it? There's nothing you can do about it. So I'm not super happy about how Episode Prelude turned out, and it's never made a return on investment. I don't have the time to update it, because it already has such a negative reputation. 3 Down Stars I'm extremely proud of, but that is also... all of my 3DS games suffer from Unity on the 3DS, but 3 Down Stars suffers the most because it is so ambitious. It's such a massive game, and people say that it's a bad game, and that's largely because I spent 85% of my development period with 3 Down Stars fighting Unity and trying to make it work, tricking it to work. It was a nightmare. And so when it comes to glitchiness, The games, obviously, they're not supposed to be glitchy. I want them to be significantly better. But when it comes to polish, the Silver Falls games are not supposed to be polished. And that's something that I know that people just aren't going to understand in general, but I know that will be some people who do understand it. Silver Falls is not about a AAA polished game experience. They're meant to be ways to tell a story. They're meant to share a feeling, and you're spending time with the people in the town. And when you're playing a Silver Falls game, my most important intention is to share a feeling with people. And you are supposed to feel what the characters are feeling. And most of the time, part of the message I'm trying to get across is life is not perfect. Life is not polished, life isn't pretty, it isn't always fun, it's seldom easy. And that's why the Silver Falls games feel the way they do. Why do Silver Falls games feel so rushed? It's because they're not meant to feel like a video game, they're meant to feel like life. And if you play a Silver Falls game and you think, this is rough, nobody's telling me what to do, I don't understand what I'm supposed to do, this is kind of hard, but as you play them, you're rewarded because you start figuring things out on your own. You start figuring out, oh, okay, well, I've sort of experimented and I figured out what to do. Okay, so I kind of get it, and then slowly, bit by bit, you learn on your own what to do. You figure out what to do, and then you get rewarded by finding in-game mechanics on your own. And I absolutely know, I absolutely understand that's not for everyone. People are not going to get that because people go into a video game and they expect basically every game to feel the same. They expect a game to tell you what to do, to lead you through it, to hold your hand, and that's not what I want to do with Silver Falls. And I know that that's going to limit my audience. I know it's going to result in very negative reviews, which it's gotten, and that doesn't bother me because there are people out there who have played Silver Falls games. They totally understand what the point of the series is, and those people, man, they love Silver Falls because it's doing something different, and it's not meant to feel like a video game. It's meant to be, for the most important thing, they're meant to be fun, but also they're meant to feel like life. You know, they're meant to say something about life, to be about life, and they're not meant to feel like a polished, you know, oh yeah, look at this AAA title, look how expensive the graphics are, yeah. My games are not supposed to feel like that, at least Silver Falls. That's why I'm working on other IP right now, is, okay, so Silver Falls is the thing that I'm most passionate about, but now I need to make games that have mass appeal as well. So that's going to be my neck, this is going to be my body, right? So I'm kind of imagining, you got to have a big rib cage around the front to support your limbs and whatnot. Okay, so I'm just going to grab my vertices here, and this is going to be the back, this is the top. So now I want to turn on my symmetry settings here. I'll put the music back on. I don't know if the music's too loud. Let me know if the music's ever too loud and I'll fix it. Makes sense. Let's see. Do you know the legend of Darth Plagueis the Wise? Boy, don't I ever. Don't I ever. How do you manage time as a game dev, and do you have to force yourself to work when you don't want to? How do I manage my time? I think I'm the wrong person to ask that, because I make huge sacrifices to my personal life in a way that isn't healthy. I don't think people should do what I'm doing. So I'm averse to sort of sharing advice based on the way that I do things, because the way that I do things may not be the best. So how I manage my time is I focus on a project. I think of it like this way. When you're doing anything, absolutely anything in life, any endeavor, you have a stamina meter for that. You have to think of it that way. And for game development, you have a stamina meter as a game dev. When your stamina meter is maxed out, you're going to work faster, you'll be able to handle the more difficult tasks. So you have to understand what your stamina meter is. You need to know where your maximum, your middle, and your low points are. So before you assign yourself any tasks, before you plan anything out for the week, you have to know where your stamina meter is at. And you rest, you take breaks, you do things that you enjoy. That's what restores your stamina meter. If your stamina meter is high, then you should be assigning yourself tasks that are more difficult and more challenging. And you save the easy tasks for when your stamina meter is low. So I generally will sort of rank my game development tasks, the work that I have to do for a game. I'll put them in three tiers, high, middle, and low in terms of difficulty. And the high difficulty stuff I work on when my stamina is high. I get up in the morning, I gauge how I'm feeling, and I think my stamina is kind of in the middle right now. I'll do the middle difficulty tasks, and on the days where I'm just not feeling great, I can tell I've got low stamina, the energy just isn't there. That's when I work on the easy game development tasks. If you don't do that, you're going to end up wasting all of your stamina doing the easy tasks, and then you're going to have the difficult stuff left over when you have no stamina, and that's when you get stuck. So that's part of my technique when it comes to game development. That way I'm always productive. Even if I have low stamina, I'm not feeling great about it, I can still get tons of work done because I've saved the easy stuff. I remember seeing Silver Falls on a 3DS shovelware compilation from memory. That is hilarious. That's funny. And you know what? Everyone's got their own opinions and all that stuff. And I've gotten tons of insults over the internet. When I was launching my games on 3DS, I had people telling me that that the Silver Falls game I made was the worst game that they've ever made. And it's pretty funny. It's kind of like, have you played other video games before? I'm starting to get the feeling you haven't played other video games before. So, I know that the body rig that I'm putting this on, I know what the shape is. I don't have it here with me, but I've made it, so I know what it is roughly. So I'm just going to try to roughly match that body rig. And for anyone that's going to get into game development, if you really want to do it, then absolutely do it, and do not let anyone discourage you. You're going to have people that will tell you that your game is the worst thing that they've ever played. And that doesn't matter. Those people don't matter. You're going to get that for everything. Think of your favorite game that you think is the absolute best game. For me, I think of, Final Fantasy VII and whatnot. There are people out there that say that Final Fantasy VII is the worst game they've ever played, So don't take it to heart. If someone puts your game on a shovelware list, if someone personally DMs you, if they're really petty about it, just have a laugh, man. We're all here to have fun, and if someone says that, don't worry about it, Not everyone's going to get you. Oh, Rosie, as the light declines, I remember Dublin City in the rare old times. You can sing along, you guys. Sing along to the Irish music as well. Just getting prepared for Paddy's Day. I'm not genetically Irish, but I am culturally Irish. I've been adopted by the Irish, and if that happens, there's no escape. Don't fight it. If Irish people tell you that you are Irish now, you cannot fight that. I've been through many fights and battles in my life, and that is something that I know that you cannot fight, is that if you've been adopted by the Irish, don't fight it. Just let it happen. It's for the better anyway, really. It's for everyone's benefit. This is my neck here. A little bit of change goes a long way for the enjoyment of a game. So when it comes to lack of flashy particle animations and whatnot, that entirely comes down to Unity as a broken game engine. Having flashy animations and whatnot causes memory leaks. Of course I want more special effects on my 3DS games, but that causes Unity to crash. Every single decision I made for my games on the 3DS was to try to stop Unity from crashing. But when it comes to the battle, people want a game, people judge a game's quality by, oh, how smooth is the battle system, how fast is it? But that's not, it's not a good way to judge a game, because say, for example, if you're in a survival horror game, if you make your character feel powerful, it's not going to be scary. So by intention, every single Silver Falls game sets out to make your character feel clunky and slow. And that's because I do not want these characters to feel like video game characters. Once you do that, you no longer view them as people. You view them as some powerful, unstoppable, killing machine. in a video game. And so the Silver Falls games, the characters intentionally feel clunky because that makes you feel vulnerable and it makes the monsters feel powerful. And of course, obviously, I know there's going to be a lot of people, I think the majority of people aren't going to get it, the majority of people will dislike it, and then they'll negatively review your product, and you're just going to have to live with that. It's the decision that I made, so I'm going to live with it. In the rare old times, there is always a significant amount of empowerment when it comes to the Silver Falls games, especially in Guardians and Metal Exterminators, which I've launched on the Switch recently. Is your characters get significantly stronger and faster as you level up their stats. You can use the skills and abilities to make them stronger, and that's the whole point of Silver Falls. Is from the starting point, the characters feel clumsy and clunky, and you, because of what you do, you make the characters stronger. Because you've powered them up, you've spent time with them. And that's a type of storytelling that I employ in the games that people just, a lot of people aren't going to get it, but the people that do enjoy it, I'm making a game for the people that enjoy it. Don't make games for people who don't enjoy whatever you've got to say. You know, don't even waste your time with that. Okay, so I think this torso thing's kind of ready here. I'm going to just rotate that into place here. I should make his cute little face now, shouldn't I? Okay. What are you guys doing for Paddy's Day? I'm playing at the pub. I'm playing with my club. We've got a bunch of people. We play Irish music once a week. And on Paddy's Day, we're playing at the pub. So I'll see you guys at the pub. Not the Winchester, unfortunately. You know what? Let's make his face now. Okay. Oh, you know what? I've shifted that. Let me go ahead and put those vertices back into... I want them centered. Like, that neck has way too many vertices, but it's fine. The consoles that we're putting this game on, they have no problems having a high-ish. This isn't a high poly count, it's a medium poly count. No big deal. So we need, we want this guy to be a real cutie. Hold on. Let's see. Let's give him a cute little snout. We want him to be a sort of a chompy little fellow, right? So... we're going to smoothen this out here. We'll do that. We've got off on the wrong foot here. I'm just going to create a new one of these things. This is... I see now that the poly count isn't high enough. Case in point, the Skate series. Man, if I had a skating game hooked up right now, I would probably take a break at some point during the day and play a skating game. I'm a massive Tony Hawk pro skater fan. You know, any of those skating games I grew up playing, heaps of fun. I'll play them. I had the Shaun White snowboard game for the Wii. I got the Tony Hawk. Was it the Ride board? Bummer that didn't turn out right. I think. Technology wasn't great for the Tony Hawk Skate. It had like proximity sensors on the side, right? Then you like sort of put your hand there, or... Alright. Did anyone else have the Tony Hawk Ride board? I think I had the one for 360. Okay, he's got to have a cute little snout that's too big. I normally do sculpting, so when it comes to game development, I normally sculpt. But in this situation, I am trying to create games evoking a particular art style. And that particular art style, in general, you know, developers in the past would have done primitive deformation, which I'm doing now. Is I'm starting with primitive meshes, and I'm deforming them into shape. So that is what I'm going for here. We're going to give him a cute little snooter. He's gonna have a snoot and snoot. We've got to give him a mouth. We're gonna have to model the bottom of the mouth as well for maximum mouth moving, mouth barking. You'll see pretty quickly once we got all of our primitive shapes, and you'll see how quickly it shapes up really. Okay, here we go. So here's an important rule. This is kind of set in stone. I hate saying when things are set in stone, but if you want something to be cute, it's got to be round. It's got to have. You can't have proportions where things taper and come to a point. Things have to be soft and round, and so if you want your creatures to be cute, then if this was sharp, this mouth area, that would prevent it from being cute. That would negatively impact its cuteness level. So I need to be very careful that I don't make this too sharp. So what I'm going to do is round out his snooter a little bit, and snooter is a technical term. You can also refer to it as a boober. I know it's real heady stuff, Say when you go to your dog or your cat and give them a boop on the nose. It's a scientific, technical term, Okay, we'll make the bottom of his mouth now as well. If you can give them a little bit of a frowny face as well, things that look like have a little bit of a frowny face, but then they have a cuteness to them as well. That's an approach that you can do. And I'm kind of going with the approach of this bug-eyed look. Where their eyes are very round and it looks like they're just big spheres in their heads. It's adorable. It's like these things, the approach that I'm taking with design here is that these things are cute, but they're not trying to be cute, they're trying to be serious. I've already had someone comment and say they didn't really like the visuals because it looks childish. And that's fine, people aren't always going to understand what you're doing. But when you look at a 16-bit game, a Super Nintendo game, it is cute, it's adorable, and it can't help but look adorable. And that's because of the constraints of the art format. Is that they're working with pixels. Pixels have a very certain kind of expression. And so things turn out cute and they cannot help it. That it's not their fault that it's that cute. And so that's the approach that I'm going here. Is the intention of whatever I'm expressing, the intention is serious, but it can't help be cute. And it's very hard to do that with 3D graphics, especially with HD graphics, because we have access to such better technology these days. So it's very difficult to do. So I think people are just thinking that I'm making it like adorable on purpose, and they don't really want something cute. And that's totally fine. I'm just going to have to accept again that maybe I'll lose some audience because of that. But hey, man, I'm gonna do what I set out to do, and that's just how it is. Let's get some eyeballs in this boy. So we're gonna shrink down the neck. The neck's too long as well. We have to do the bottom of his mouth. So I've only played a Golden Sun. I played one of them on the Game Boy Advance a little. Are there big Golden Sun fans here? Anyone in the chat? Golden Sun fan? Oh no, once you get the round eyeball on there, oh no, he looks adorable. Yeah. So you can see I gave him a little bit of an angry face. So, again, this is a guy, we're going to give him his mouth. We might give him some teeth. So by default, I'm evoking the spirit of things where they can't help but be cute, even though they're trying to be serious. It's not easy to do. It's actually very difficult to do. And even if people don't appreciate it, that's not the point. The point is that you're making something that you want, you do it your way, and there will be people that will get you, and there will be people that appreciate it. When you view him at certain angles, he's got a little bit of a scowl, and he's got a big round eyeball. I think that's it. I think that's our boy here. Let's go ahead and soften those now. So we'll go to modeling, we'll go to UV, and we'll soften. Oh no, I want to go to mesh display, soften edge, and we're going to go ahead and mirror that. Look at our boy. Okay, we're gonna give him a bottom of the mouth as well. I better do that before it starts looking like a nightmare here. 12 and 12. I'm just gonna do it like a cheap, easy way, you know. I like to work, you know, not all the time, but often I like to work from the idea of like sort of, you know how there's method acting where actors really get into it? Depending on what I'm working on, I like to do method development where I like to think how would developers of the past, how would they have done this? You know, what approach would they have taken? What would their thought process have been? And that's very fun. It's very fun for me. This sounds more like country music. I don't really know this one. I want to select the edge here. That's a little sharp on the edges, isn't it? Soft selection. Okay, so for Patty's Day, we don't want the slow stuff on Patty's Day. We want to party on Patty's Day. So I'm sorry if I'm skipping anyone's favorite sort of a song there. It's Patty's Day, man. Okay, this is going to be his yapper. We're working on his yapper now. I know these are anatomical terms that you guys may not have heard before, but, you know, I'm here to share, you know, my anatomical, you know, medical knowledge with you. This is called the yapper. It's what he uses to yap. This up here is the snooter. It's for snooting, but it can also be referred to as the booper as well. I am in front of some windows. I'm in front of some windows that I would really like to have more access to, but that's totally fine. Oops, sorry. I'm going to get caught up with the chat now. Sorry. I was just sort of in the zone with working. Let me get caught up with the chat. I'll do that now. So I'm going to try to match the shape of his jaw now. So what I'm doing is mesh deformation. This is a pretty old style of doing game development, an old style of doing modeling. And that's important to try to match the method through which game developers of the past would have made these games. Because I'm evoking their style, I need to make sure that I create my game as closely as to the way they did it as well. So that involves mesh deforming instead of sculpting. It's always fun. Often on my channel here, we'll hang out on live streams and we'll do sculpting. And I've even like implemented things that, you know, the chat just sort of, you know, says a couple things and we'll put a gag in and we'll actually include it in the model while we're sculpting. So let's just go ahead and stick his yapper in there and let's see what it looks like for now. And again, sort of small pointy proportions are not cute. So we want to, let's go ahead and soften the UVs here. Okay. For me grog, me jolly, jolly grog, for me beer and tobacco, with the lassies drinking gin, across the western ocean I must wander. Okay, so the back needs to blend in just a little more, so now I'm just going to grab some vertices, as you do. Grab them by the vertices, as a great previous United States presidents once said, grab them by the vertices. Right? Is that what happened? Am I getting that right? California beer and tobacco. Okay, what do you guys think of this yapper here? Okay, we might go ahead and stick some little chompy teeth in there. Let's go ahead and get him some ears now. So I'm gonna make him some ears. What shape do I want to start with? Okay, we're gonna start with a cube. Okay, I'm gonna get caught up. I actually am going to get caught up with the chat now. Sorry about that. Okay, give him a huge chin. Yeah, we could do that. Absolutely. Why do people insult this man if these games by other devs have zero effort put in? Jerrel puts max effort in. I appreciate that, and you know, it kind of sucks, but I feel also that it doesn't matter how much effort you put in if your end product sucks, because you can put in a ton of effort and still produce something that sucks. So. It's awful saying this. I think that no matter what you should do, you should always put in effort, but the amount of effort you put in doesn't 100% matter if the thing you've created sucks. So that's why, to me it's important that I do put in my maximum effort, whatever I can do. I try to do, the best I possibly can, but I also have to keep in mind, I need to, I guess I'll call it like a suck check. I'm going to call it a suck check. Every couple weeks I stop and I check if the thing that I'm creating sucks. And that's what it is. So it's important, it's one thing to say, oh, I put all my effort into it, but also, did you set out to create, something good, something great? So I'm starting with these parts here. Gonna go ahead, this is gonna be my ear for my, oops, let's go ahead and turn off symmetry. Does anyone here do 3D modeling? Has anyone ever used Lightwave? Oh man, okay, so when I was a kid, oh, this is a story. I've never shared this with anyone. I went to like a Barnes & Noble when I was a kid, and there was a magazine there for 3D modeling, and included was a disc of Lightwave. I can't remember what version it was. Maybe it was Lightwave 7 or something like that. And when I saw that, I realized this is my chance to get into game development, to start 3D modeling. Because at that point, when you're a kid, you've never seen 3D modeling software. It's all magic. You don't understand how it works. And so the fact that I saw this magazine, it came with a disc. It was like $12. So I went home, I grabbed as much money as I could get together, and I bought the magazine. I can't even remember what the magazine was called. I read that thing like it was a religion. And I installed Lightwave, and I used that thing non-stop. I modeled Jill Valentine from Resident Evil 3. I was doing all kinds of stuff with Lightwave, and that was all primitive manipulation. So that was my first experience with 3D modeling, and it was so exciting, and it felt like, oh, I can make a video game with these graphics, And obviously it takes a long time, it takes years before you actually have the ability to implement, that sort of thing in a video game in an effective way that you can build a whole game out of. King of the Bread, you have Irish heritage, 4th generation, living in Australia. Oh, you're in Australia too, that's great. What state are you in? I'm in New South Wales. And you know what, I'll tell you guys something. I don't talk much about my personal life. I think it's important to keep your personal life and your professional life separate. But I've been working so hard on all my current games that I need to launch. I'm working on the Kickstarter, and I told my music club, we play Irish music, and I told them, look, I won't be able to do Paddy's Day. I have too much work. It's too much right now, and I don't have time to practice the music. And you can't afford to be bad. On Paddy's Day, you gotta play real good. And when it comes to Irish music, don't mess it up. Just do it right, do it well. And I said, look, I don't have the time to do it right, and I don't want to do it poorly. but they would not let me get out of it. My Irish club would not let me get out of Paddy's Day. It's an important holiday, but also I've been adopted by the Irish. I've been told that I am now Irish, and so there's no getting out of it. So now I just have to prioritize making sure that I'm ready for tomorrow and that I can do the music properly. So the edges of the ears, I'm not super happy about those, right? I'm going to soften those. Actually, I'm going to do this first. You can either do it geometrically or you can do it by using you can soften the normals here. I'm going to soften the edge. But see, that doesn't look right, see? So it's doing too much math. What I'm going to do is select the edge. I can't see what I'm selecting here. Okay, we don't need the soft stuff here, right? We don't need the soft, slow, sad stuff. So I need to see my edges better. I'm going to undo. What we're going to do now is we're going to use a tool to... This is like modern tools. That it's really nice having it. I'm going to turn off soft selection so I can see what's going on better. The new RPG you're working on looks really good. Driller Joe, hey, good to see you. Has that Skies of Arcadia look to it. That's a good thing. I appreciate that. I'm glad that you like it. I'm glad that you get the point of the art style. To me, there's so many... it's easy to get wrapped up in this idea of look at how good my graphics are, look at how HD they can be, look at it. That's not impressive. Anyone can make amazing looking polished graphics. That's not impressive anymore. I think it's boring if your thing just looks as HD as possible. It's not interesting to me. What's more important is what you are expressing. Through your art style, through your visuals, what are you saying to the player? What feeling are you trying to share with people? What feeling are you evoking from the player? That's the most important thing to me. Because just making HD visuals, that's nothing. That takes literally no effort these days. Okay, so now that I've done the bevel, I feel like I'm saying a temple from Final Fantasy X, bevel, the bevel tool. Okay, let's go ahead and soften the edge now. And you can see that the edge of the ears looks significantly better now. So that is what we want. And again, like I said, it's a fine balance because you do want some chunkiness in there. You don't want to overly smooth it because then you lose the intention and the charm of the aesthetic. Okay, and again, as I said, with proportions, it's very important that you get your proportions right. You know what would be really fun is if I used physics animations so that as he moved his ears sort of wobbled around. That's something that I may consider. I may think about that. Oh, this is going to be a very cute boy. Look at this. Look at him. Alright. Okay. Oh, and I am getting caught up with the chat. I am doing that. Shadow Hat. Hi, good to see you. Thanks for coming to hang out. I don't really use my account. I am on your Discord and I'm moving to Australia soon and hope I can catch you playing sometime in Sydney. That's awesome. Okay. How cool is that? Where are you moving from? I go to different clubs. I play in different clubs, and then people ask me to join them at different venues and whatnot. So the past couple months has been quiet for me in terms of playing and performing, but I do go around and play in other places as well. I'm not a big famous musician, I'm not a professional or anything like that, but it's something that I enjoy because with music you get to create something that people can enjoy, and it doesn't matter what your political beliefs are, it doesn't matter what theirs are, your religion does not matter. Music is something that you can enjoy, you can create it, and people can enjoy it. And that's kind of how I view my games as well, is I want to make something for people to enjoy. Okay, this gives off cute boy vibes. This is a good boy. This is a good boy here. I might lean the ears back just to see what they look like a little bit. I think they might be a little... What do you guys think? Is the ear too far forward? Let's go ahead and shrink it down and we'll lean it back a little bit as well. And of course, these are always things that you can adjust as much as you want, ad nauseum, infinitely. You can adjust it in-engine as well. I leave all of these parts, they're not baked, in terms of position, so that I can physics animate them later on if I want to. So I'm eyeballing it, which is a technique that my father figure, I just call him my dad. Um, something very important that he imparted onto me is that accuracy doesn't exactly matter all the time. Sometimes eyeballing it is the right way to do it. I'm just going to eyeball it because often that results in something that may be a little rough, but it's got way more character. So I'm going to eyeball it. Are you guys happy with that? Let me know in the chat if you're happy with that. If I see some yeses in the chat, we're going to mirror it and we're going to leave it there. So we need cute proportions. We're going to shrink down the neck. We're going to get the rest of our body going. Will you still be in Australia around September? Yeah, I live here. I live here full-time. Did you know Metal Gear Solid 2 Sub has a skateboard mode on PS2? I did not know that. That's very cool. So you actually need to care about the result in game dev. You do have to care about the result, a fair amount. If what you're producing is the result of smaller games, hundreds of hours, large games, thousands of hours. It's thousands of hours of making so many decisions. It's your mental state. It is your level of skill. It's your ability. It's your ability to gauge, what your stamina is at and the decisions that you make, depending on your state of mind. It's a lot. It's a whole lot. Oh, you're kind of moving from the UK, but you're an American Australian. Ah, cool. New South Wales. Billy DeLacy, hey, good to see you. You're the only reason the game you want to make isn't getting made. Stop pretending you're a victim of haters and make your game. YOLO, crybaby. Hey, good to see you. Thanks for coming to hang out. You commented on a couple other videos. It's good to see you. Thanks for coming to hang out. So I've produced a ton of games, so I don't have games that don't get made. I'm constantly making new games. So I've got heaps, but it's good to see you, Billy. What are your favorite games? Someone else commented about the PlayStation Portal. I wanted to ask what their thoughts were on it. What are your favorite games, Billy? What's your main console right now? What do you like the best? Okay, so that is... let's see here. So in case you guys don't know of me, you haven't heard before, I am a commercial games developer, and I'm constantly making new games. I've always got new games in development. I'm always launching new games. And I do that internally. I do that all internally funded. And the reason why I've started the Kickstarter for Breath of Thunder is that RPGs take a long time to make, and I need about 6 months to get Breath of Thunder made. And that would mean that that's 6 months where I'm not launching other new games. So it's frustrating when you want to make bigger games, right? Because they take way more time, but that means that you're not really earning money in that time. And that's what sucks, is that for the time being, I'm making smaller games that I can develop quickly and then launch them. And I'm on track to develop develop and launch one game a month because I have a bunch that are partially finished. And I just sort of hang on to them for a while until I'm ready to sort of get them across the finish line. Here's the thing, we can either go for a big chunky neck or we can go for like a sort of a smaller thin neck. But we really just need a bridging point to the torso here. Where'd Billy go? Billy, where'd you go? I'm asking what your favorite consoles are. Billy left, you guys. Billy, come back. Billy, we need you. Billy, why did you leave? Why did you make one comment and leave? Billy, you let me down, man. Okay. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know the song that's playing. I don't know what this is. this here. So again, I'm kind of thinking, here we go, I just want this to attach better. Guys, I don't understand. Can you? Okay, please explain internet culture because I don't understand it that well. Billy came in to have a chat. He left one comment in the chat and then he left. I don't understand that. I thought he came here to talk. Which is I don't get it. I don't get why someone comes into a chat to say one thing and then leaves. So here are the approaches we can go with. I think I'm going to go smaller body, big head. This is an early enemy game, early game enemy as well. So you want your more serious proportions to be later in the game, so you can escalate the sense of danger and seriousness. When something has like a big body, a big head, small body, it gives the sense of something young. So early on, early game, that's what you want. Okay, now I'm going to go for the limbs. So we're just going to have the two parts. We're going to have the upper limb, bottom limb as well. Okay, the ear looks good to you? Manuel Jesus, sorry. Arredondo Ruiz, cool name. Wow, this is the first time I've seen a game in the making. Thanks, dude. Hey, I'm glad you're here to hang out, you know? I was saying earlier in the stream, yeah, like my first modeling software was Lightwave. The disc came in a magazine that I bought from a Barnes & Noble, and I just thought it was the coolest thing in the world, you know? So, when I was a kid, like, no one talked about making video games, you know? I think they were all just sort of in their offices making the games, so they were just quiet about it. So you didn't really hear about people making games. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that so far. We'll see what it looks like once I get the limbs in there. Let's get some limbs in there. So here's what I can do. I can either do a front. I think I will. I'll have a front part of the torso and then a rear part of the torso. That way we can get more animations. Shadowhead. Since Billy won't answer, I am a Nintendo fanboy. I still love the 3DS. Still love the 3DS. What? Right here. And look, I don't care that people say like negative stuff and they'll call people names and whatnot. I'm happy that you guys are here. I'm happy that we are all alive, that we can all get to share things. And if the only thing that you get to share is that you call people names and you're mean to them on the internet, I'm happy that you're here. The fact that we are alive, the fact that we get to do that, the fact that we get to, you know, attack people on the internet, at least we're alive and there's something that we can share together. And I'm so grateful for that, because the only other alternative is that we're dead. We don't exist anymore, and that's going to happen to us. One day, we won't be alive anymore, and we won't have the opportunity to call each other names on the internet, to try to cheer for someone else's failure. One day we'll all be dead, just like our grandparents and our parents before us, and we won't have the opportunity to do that. So even if that's the only way that people want to engage with me, if they choose to engage with me by, you know, being negative, I'm so glad that you are here to do that. I'm so glad that we are both alive, that we can share a moment like that. Even if it, to you, is negative, to you, you feel like, you know, you're winning this victory and you're being negative and you think that this is so great, I've totally tore this person down. To me, you're not tearing me down. To me, we're just sharing something together. We're sharing a moment together because we're both alive, and I'm grateful for that. So even though, you know, people are still messaging me and saying, you know, what they consider hate, I'm so grateful that we can at least share a moment together. So thank you to everyone. Even if you sent messages that are just awful and mean, to me, that's not what it is. To me, it's not negativity. It's at least something. It's a moment that we've spent together while we're alive, and I appreciate that. And that's why I don't react negatively to things. That's how I view life, is that we should be happy we're all alive and we're together in some way at least. So that's my view on life, and nothing that anyone does or says is going to change that. Shadowhead, I wish I had more time to play games in general, but I love your positivity and vibes. I kind of feel like we're in the same boat because I don't have any time. My favorite games have been remade. You know, I don't want to sound like a complainer. Resident Evil 2, I was obsessed with it while growing up. Final Fantasy 7, I was obsessed with it while growing up. And I haven't played the remakes. Lord help me, I have not played the remakes, and they are my favorite games of all time. And it's not that I'm a purist, you know. Oh, I only like the originals. I'm just working. That's all it comes down to. It's a bummer. That's life. You know, I chose this path. I chose to make games for a living, but that means that I just don't have a lot of time. Again, I don't want to make it too small because that will detract from the cuteness of it. Okay. We do want claws at the end of this boy, and to make that, I'm thinking I'm going to use separate meshes so you can visibly see the claws at least. So what we're going to do, I'm going to do okay. This is just a little modeling technique. It can be used to save time, but also, if you have other intentions, you can use this method to create a sense of cuteness as well. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to duplicate it. Did a slow song come on? We don't want the slow songs, man. It's Patty's Day. We want the stuff that's moving. There we go. So what I've done is I've duped it and I've rotated it. Okay, now we want to move everything up. Okay. I'm surprised you asked what his favorite game was. Sometimes people just hate and leave. You know what? I think any opportunity, you should just take a moment to talk to people, you know? Sometimes all people need is just an invitation for a conversation to talk, you know? And you never know where other people are at in their lives. You don't know. The internet is for many people, it's their only place to vent and get things off their chest. And so it's important to keep that in mind. And even if people are going to say mean things online, that's fine, you know? Cut up some slack. It may be all that they have. They may have nothing else in their life. Let them have it. What we want to do is flatten this out and then bring it forward as well. So we want that larger, we also want it longer as well, like that. We'll go ahead and move it forward like that. And we do want it quite round as well. Actually soft select, turn that off. On the sweet cob of cork. In New York. Okay, so I'm taking a step back to look at the proportions. So what I need to do, I'm actually just going to mirror the front body and then use it as a base to make the rear part of the torso as well. So we need to make sure it is, okay, so it is clear what the front of the leg is, but I just want to make it a little more clear. He was cock of the walk, which is something, it's a phrase I don't personally understand. He was cock of the walk, as they say in the song. Okay, that's cute, right? Okay. And what we do want, we want claws as well. So in general, the more detail you have, the more sort of grotesque it is. I'll put that on the z-axis. Height 0.3. The more detail something has, the more grotesque it is. The less detail it has, generally, the more cute it is. Okay. So height divisions. Let's go through. Well, we got one back there. Okay, let's make some claws. We can also use this to make fangs as well. We may consider putting some fangs on this cute little fella here. So again, we don't want the proportions to be too small and tight. We're going to make the claw just a little big. I'm more of a Dubliner, the Dubliners, when it comes to a lot of these renditions. That's usually what I base my performances off of. And muscles, alive, alive, oh. What's great about these components is that you can reuse them. You can modify the meshes a bit and reuse them to save development time as well, depending on what it is. Okay, so we got one cute little claw there. I'm actually going to just press Control-D to duplicate that. I'm going 2. I think 3 would be too detailed because this is an early game enemy. We want him to be kind of adorable here. So I think 2 is all he gets. There we go. We might put it off to the side a little bit more. I'm gonna say that's not my favorite version of this song. There we go, something a little more lively. Okay, let's go ahead and mirror our items now. Okay. Let's go ahead and mirror. Wow, I got lost for a second. Where's the mirror tool? Okay, just mirror that. What? No. Okay, so we got the front of our dude. Okay. Okay, we'll want to get the back half. We'll get the back half in there. And then we'll get the legs in there. So what we'll do is we'll work on our proportions, and then this is going to wrap up very quickly here now. At this point, progress is going to go very quickly. And then we're going to go ahead and chuck this guy in engine, and then we'll see what it looks like. Oops. Go ahead and make that 5. Okay, we're going to mirror this, but now across the Z-axis. Normally mirror across X, so let's go for Z now. Multiply. Okay. And let's go ahead and just get this into shape now. So we'll do some deforming. This is slow and sad. What do we got? Oh, tell me ma. Hey, Time Punk, good to see ya. Thanks for coming to hang out. Always good to hear from you guys. We want a large, rounded rear end, very cute looking. So we're just gonna finish up this enemy. We're really close to finishing the modeling on this guy. So, very close to finishing it. And then we're gonna put him in engine. We'll see what he looks like. What we're gonna do is grab all of these. Oops. Control D. But here's the thing. His the rear legs kind of have like a that sort of, I don't know what you call it. The Z shape limb is what I'm calling it now. You know what I'll do? I'll grab the. Okay, we want to select the vertices here. And also select the vertices here. Okay. Oops, my soft selection is too powerful. Let's go ahead and wind that down right up. Just lean that back to take into account that Z elbow is what I'm calling it now. That is now the official name. It is called the Z elbow. I don't actually know what it's called. Now it's the Z elbow. Always gone straight into Mush and Durkin. He needs a little tail. We're going to go for a cute little tail. So I'm going to dupe this, actually. I'm going to dupe this and I'll mirror it across when I'm done. Alright? So in general, in 3D modeling, you would use a skinned mesh, which means you build a skeleton, and then you attach this to the skeleton so the vertices are bound to the skeleton. As the skeleton moves, it pulls the vertices around with it. But in this case, because of the visual style I'm going for, the vertices are not skinned, they're attached directly to the bone. And that's what gives the game this unique look that reminds you of the older games. Okay, there we go. We have our Z elbow, which is the technical term. It's a medical thing. There we go. There's our boy. And we're just going to dupe that across. Let's give him a couple hot dog links for his tail, why don't we? We're going to mirror that across. But remember, we need to go back to the other. Let's see here. Dude, you wish you could model. Not gonna lie, any Blender work scares me. You know, it really depends on just, sometimes you just need to find the right software that you really get. Have you tried just like sculpting? Often in my streams I'll share how I use a Sculptress. And Sculptress is, you sculpt. It's not, you know, this kind of deformation modeling. It's very fun. So what I'm actually going to do is I'll just leave that for now. What I would want to do is make this rear leg bigger, right, at the end here. So it sticks out the side a little bit. I'll do that now, actually. Oh, we don't want this slow, sleepy stuff for Patty's Day. What's the next thing? Give us the good stuff, man. See, if you go larger like that, there we go. Now he has a sense of shape and musculature to that rear leg just there. Okay. But we do want a sense of cute butt. That's a technical term, cute butt. It's one word, cute butt. So we're going to slide that back a little bit. Very rounded. Okay, we got to give this boy a tail, though. We really got to do that. Okay, so I've modified that. I'm just going to remove the one from the other side and then mirror it across again. So let's go ahead and delete that. Okay, all we have to do now is put a tail on this bad boy, and then we'll chuck him in engine, and then we'll see what he looks like. Okay. Oops. Alright, how many sausages we got to put on this guy? I want to keep it simple again. I don't want overly detailed. There's a very specific style that I'm looking for. Height divisions 2, cap divisions 3 on x-axis. Let's go 1 and 0.5. And actually, I'll only do one piece, and then we will reuse this mesh, and that's an optimization. But also, it'll help us maintain the look of older games. It'll help sell that if we reuse that mesh, but it's been slightly rescaled in engine. It just helps maintain that design language. Okay, and let's go ahead and. Sorry, mesh display. I'm getting a little distracted. Soften edge here. So what we want to do is go from the top view here. Something like that I think would be very cute. Something like that. And you know what? Let's, on the inside, we'll just make it a little skinny, and that'll give it like this fun sense of shape, won't it? And then make that a little bigger. Get rid of the soft select now. Right, okay. That's, I'm going to flatten it a little bit just to give it a little bit more of the shape that I want. I think that's good. I think we're looking good. So what I need to do is go back and actually name all of these parts. I'll do that later, you know. So we want to, again, proportions. You don't want too many small proportions if you're aiming to make something cute. You want to make that bigger there. See, already, I don't really like how long the neck is, so just before we export that, I'm just going to shrink that down a little bit. I'm kind of thinking I'm happy with that. Okay, this is one of our early game enemies as well. Okay, let's go ahead. We're just going to do this, delete all by type. Let's go history. Okay, and we will export all. Okay, let me get this ready to bring into the engine, and then we'll see what it looks like in the engine. March, playing some Ruby River as I watch your next good game. Hey, I appreciate that. Thanks for the support, and I hope you're enjoying Ruby River still. Again, it's going to have massive improvements on the Switch. I'm not sure if you've seen the other videos, but it's just there's going to be a massive graphical overhaul for Ruby River. It's just going to be more refined. Let's see here. The Essential St. Patrick's Day Collection Irish Drinking. This better not be slow, sad music. I mean it. Okay. Alright. Alright. Okay, I'm just exporting the file, and then we'll have a look at what he looks like in Engine. Where did it go? Where did it go? Where's my file here? Okay. HD. This is not a drinking song. Your parents must rock. My parents live in the States. If I'm lucky, I get to go back once a year, once every other year, and spend some time there. Yeah, these are Patty State glasses. Again, because of the green screen, they don't look that green. There's a green screen behind me, so OBS is sort of cutting out the greens. But they're quite green in real life, you know. Okay, let's go ahead and stick the enemy in there. Let me just figure out where I put the blob guy. When I go home, there's no years alone. They race a decent man, I appreciate that. But you know, you're really in charge of your own life. It reaches a point where you are entirely in charge of who you are and who you become, you know. And let's see. I think I called this guy Mini Claw. You know. And maybe, you know, later in the game we'll have a mid claw, you know, a midi claw. I want to show and explore. We're going to copy and paste this fellow right into here. And then we'll want to create some materials as well. Okay. Okay, so he's a little small in there. We're going to change the scale factor to 10. Go ahead and turn off read, write, enable as well. Okay, and this is our fun... Oops. This is our fun little guy, and let's go ahead and we'll get some materials onto this guy as well. You can see I've got a shotgun, I've got a throwing weapon, and like a low level sword, kind of just a cheap sword. So we'll get those textured up today. We're gonna get some materials on this guy, but before we do that, I'm gonna practice. Yeah, we'll get started. I'm gonna have to grab my octave mandolin. When this song ends, I'm gonna grab my octave mandolin. I'm gonna cheat. I'm just gonna Control D to duplicate these here. Okay, put those in there. See if we give them. I'm just renaming that. There's a cute eyeball in there. Oh my god. That's adorable. Look at him, look how angry he is. Oops. That's wrong. We'll get like a base color on there. Okay, what do we got here? But he's not supposed to be shiny, you see. So let's go ahead and cut that down. There we go. Look at our boy! Alright, I'm pretty happy with how that's turned out, honestly. Now what I would want is a different color inside the ear. So I'm going to do that. What is up with the buzzkill music, man? Raglan Road, though. Oh, man, I love Raglan Road. I'll play that on my on my deal there. I'll play Raglan Road. I won't play it on that as a Luke Kelly. So I'll show you how you get different ear color. So what's going to happen is if I put this on the ear, you see that the inside is the same as the outside, right? So we're going to make an adjustment here. We're going back to our modeling program. And now what we're going to do is I'm just going to select the faces on the inside. There's a couple ways to do this. Let's see, oops. A couple ways to do it. If I double click this, what happens? Okay, it selected the whole thing. So I'm just going to... Yeah. I'm just going to do it kind of like that. I don't really feel like getting into it. I don't feel like getting into it. So I'm just going to manually select all of the faces like this that I want to be different. I'm going to right click and I'm going to just assign a new material. And now in Unity that will let me assign a different material. Sorry for bumping the microphone there. Okay. Okay, there we go. I just didn't feel like getting into it, so, okay. Assign a new material. Yeah, blend. Okay. Enter. Okay, so now, if I export that, I'll be able to assign a different material on the inside. So we'll do that now. Okay, oops. We'll export all. Mini claw. Yep. Mini claw. Paste it in there. Okay, so we've got our adjustments in, and you can see now something different is going on with the ears here. So we want to have a look at the ears. So now we can assign two different materials. So we have mini claw 1. And now, if I dupe this, we can have a different color on the inside, so I'll just do that real quick. And now this can be any color we want. Realistically, it should be something like white, realistically. But this is a fantasy RPG, so you can do whatever color you want. It could be hot pink if you want. That doesn't necessarily blend so well. I might go for like a yellow maybe, just because it's kind of like an interesting color. It could be red, even, if you wanted it to. It could be blue. It could be any color you want, So we'll just make it a little yellow for now. Okay, we'll color the rest of this guy, and we'll put his tail in there. Oh, let me get caught up with the chat here. Sorry about that, guys. I get caught up with working and... okay. One day I plan on watching your streams while doing work like you are. Hey, if that's what you want to do, go for it. Absolutely go for it. If you want to get into this stuff, just do it. There's so many resources online to help you get into modeling, game development. Even if you only want to do just the one thing, just focus on one thing at a time, absolutely go for it. Team up with other people online and make something that you want, So I'll show you my octave mandolin. I haven't tuned it yet. I'm not going to waste time. Let me see here. I got to practice, guys. It is Paddy's Day tomorrow. I've been adopted into Irish culture, and I can't not practice. So let me find an appropriate pick here. This will probably do. This is my octave mandolin here, or you can call it a bouzouki. If you tuned it a little differently, you could call it a bouzouki. Let me grab my music here. I have to practice stuff because it would be wrong of me to not be ready for Paddy's Day tomorrow. I am playing at the pub. Let me see what I got here. No, I'm not doing the slow stuff tomorrow. Oh man, the F chord on this thing kind of sucks, honestly. It's too long. Alright, what do we got? Rashad Z. Okay. Rolling something Nice for the viewing. Wonder Boy 3 is a good example of something like this on Master System. Man, Master System games have like a real charm to them, you know? I'm out of focus. Hello? Hello? You from Shadow? What the dog doing? He's going to be an enemy. So we're going to give him a big tail. Maybe we'll give him like big claws at the end of the tail. Maybe he'll have two tails, you know? So that's going to be one of our first enemies that you'll encounter in the game. Oh man, I'm using the wrong. India. Hey, cool. You live in the UK, but you're moving to Australia in the Australian spring. Spring's a great time to be here. How am I messing that up? Oh, see, I need practice. That's bad. I botched that bad. Oh no. Everyone on the internet saw it. All my internet friends saw how badly I botched that. I need practice. That's why. I'm going to do a bit more work on the game, and then I need to take the rest of the day off from work, and I have to practice. Boy. Oh boy. You're from Newcastle. Hey! Have you been to Australia before? You couldn't deal with haters like you can. See, that's the thing. I don't think of people as haters. I don't think that way. I don't just assign a label to someone and think, oh, they're haters. They don't care. That's a person. They have their own life. They have their own thoughts. They have their own feelings that lead them to do and say whatever they say on the internet, but they're just a person, you know? And at the end of the day, they don't really care. If they're saying negative stuff and they're, you know, what people say is hating, they don't care. It's just fun. It's just fun to them. And it doesn't matter, you know? I think the best thing you can do is just talk to them as you would a normal person. And, you know, eventually, one day, you might be able to see eye to eye, and you'll just be able to talk as normal people would. The internet's not a real, you know, it's not a real place. It's not a real thing. It's just a fun playground for some people, and that's what it is. Nothing else. You had a terrible experience with CAD software. Ooh, see, like, there's no software that's, like, everyone works differently, everyone thinks differently. Some people are just going to like certain softwares better. It just clicks with them better. Try other things, you know? I'm not good with CAD. I don't think I'm great with CAD. And it's all for me grog, me jolly jolly grog. All for me beer and tobacco. Shoot, I've got to practice these or it's going to be a disaster tomorrow. What would you do with the drunken sailor? What would you do with the drunken sailor? Let's see, all for me grog. I don't know if a B minor on this thing. You know, I'm supposed to be practicing my fast-paced ones in the event that we want Raglan Road, because we're playing the fasts, you know, celebratory stuff. But I should be practicing Raglan Road as well. On Raglan Road, on an autumn day, I saw her first and knew that her dark hair would weave a snare that I might one day rue. And I said, let each be a fallen leaf at the dawning of the day. On Grafton Street in November, we trip lightly along the ledge of a deep ravine where can be seen the worth of passion's pledge. The Queen of Hearts still making cards, and I'm not making hay. Oh, I love to watch, and by such is happiness thrown away. I gave her gifts of the minor, gave her the sacred sign, known to the artists who have known the true gods of sound, sound and song, and word and tint without stint. I gave her poems to say, with their own name there, and her own dark hair, like clouds over fields of May. On a quiet street where old ghosts meet, I see her walking now, away from me so hurriedly. My reason must allow that I had loved not as I should, a creature made of clay. When the angel woos, the clay he'd lose his wings at the dawn of day. Whew, okay, that's practice. That's practice. All right, here we go. Back to work, guys. Okay, back to work making video games. Probably won't stream too long today. We'll hang out, we'll chat, we'll make games a bit more. I have to spend the rest of the day practicing for Paddy's Day tomorrow. It's extremely important that I don't mess up those songs. The pub's going to be full, all my band members are going to be there, so we'll be a club. Not a band, we're a club. Okay, so. I usually play that song on my auto harp. It's quite expressive. I've never played that on the octave mandolin before. I've been using GitHub Copilot. That is amazing. I'll have to look that up. I don't know what that is. Hey, Awakening, good to see you. Kingy Jab, hey, good to see you. Thanks for coming to hang out. You found Blender easier than SolidWorks you had in school, but it does the same things in a way. That's great. Yeah, you're often going to find programs that do like the same thing as other things, but you just click with it better, and that's what it all comes down to. Where'd you get the glasses? Yeah, I don't want to sound, like, I got it from AliExpress. I don't want to sound like I go through those like cheap scam websites to get stuff. Like I'd never buy anything from Wish.com. A friend of mine ordered something from Wish.com, and they stole his credit card information and used it to put in like $1,000 worth of advertising on Facebook. So I got these from AliExpress. I've never been scammed on AliExpress so far. Got me bricked up, not gonna lie. It's like taking Colston Newcastle. Hey dude, hope you have a good day. Hey, good to see you, Spicy Cacao. I got all Yokai and Yokai Watch Blasters today. Nice! I've played a little bit of one of the Yokai games on the 3DS, but I haven't played a ton of it, because they launched at a time in my life where I was working. Farewell and adieu, my fair Spanish lady. Oh, Shadowhead, yeah, join the Discord. Shadowhead, love your voice. I'm just if I don't practice, it gets really rough, so it is important that I practice to make sure that the last thing you want to do is make someone's ears bleed when you're singing, so you just got to do your best, it'd be really cute. I want to make a different color for his limbs. I want them to be like a little darker, so what we're going to do is we're going to dupe that with Control D, and we'll just make him like he's got to have something in terms of color that'll make him interesting. Purple. Purple's a popular color. Okay, so I'm a little bit colorblind right now because I'm wearing green glasses. But we don't want. I need to find a faster track because we don't want the slow, sad stuff for Patty's Day. We want to celebrate. What's the next song on this list? Finnegan's Wake? Okay, he's going to have purple limbs and purple tail, brown body. Here we go. Yeah, that really pops. You know what? If his ears were purple, let's just see what he looks like if his ears are purple. Oh, you know what? No. His ears should be yellow on the inside still. I think it's the outside of the ears that need to be purple. There's our boy. Oops, I grabbed the wrong one. Okay, and his tail shall be purple. Finnegan. We'll give him like a cool, just a couple joints here. No, a couple joints of his tail. You guys know what I'm talking about. Okay. There we go. That's our pal. There we go. There's our pal. So there are two options you have here in terms of design. You can either get the tail go small or go big. I'm going to go big with the tail here, just see how it looks. Oops. I'm kind of thinking that's it. What a good pal. Okay, so I don't have him rigged up to animate yet. I'll have to do that later on.
That just involves taking the body components and fitting them onto a skeleton that I have pre-made. But let's go ahead and we'll just dupe this, our new little monster. This is cute. Let's see what he looks like running in engine, right? So I'm just gonna put a couple instances of him in here, and I'm gonna run it, and we'll see. Oh, this is, I'm working on that guy. I'm missing I haven't done the hair for him yet. That's placeholder hair. This is one of the wyverns from the wyvern planet. So we're just gonna run it, and we'll see what it looks like. Finnegan's Way. Holy shit, those glasses are cool. Hidden Castles Compendium. They're meant to be bright green. I'm gonna turn off the green screen for a moment. You can see how green they're meant to be. I'm playing it Paddy's Day tomorrow at the pub. I'm playing music with my music club. Kiss my girl. I'll play that song next because I do need to practice it. This is slow. This is too slow, I think, this version. Chroma key. It's supposed to be pretty green for Paddy's Day. Can you see them all right? Does that make sense? See, hard to understand Discord. Say something in the Sungrind Discord server. Yeah, we'll find you in there. Hey, Mike Garcia! Good to see you. You're like the real joints. That's not the joints that I gave this guy, you know. So what we need now is to determine the scale for our good little fella here. So he needs to be threatening. So he can't be as small as he is now. Hold on. Let's turn it like that so we can see what he looks like, right? So let's just make him. We'll scale him up because he's got to look threatening. Oh. Okay, the bigger he gets, like the larger his overall, that's a threatening fella now. Look at that chonkin' noggin of his. Okay, that is a threatening looking enemy now at that size. Dirty old town. I'll play it. This version's a bit slow for me. Alright, what do you guys think? I think we stick some teeth, put some fangs in that bad boy, and we call it a day. What do you reckon? Alright, and we sculpted his brow ridge in just the right way. You can see that he has a little bit of a scowl to him. Let's move him inland a little bit. We'll get a better look at him. Oh, you know what? Let's put him by the fountain because the camera angle changes by the fountain. Dirty old town. One of my good friends, we used to sing this together, but he got banned from the country. Ah, bummer. Oh, sorry to hear that. How did you get this working? All own code, some plugin Corgi engine. Good to accelerate this. This is all my own code. Everything I created an RPG framework to have all of this logic running. So this is all my own stuff. Oh, my glasses are dang. Oh, I should be practicing this song as well. Star of the County Down. Let's move him closer to the camera. He's a little far from the camera. Oops, hold on there. Yeah, let's move him closer to the camera. Oh, there's our other dude. He's floating up from the terrain a little bit, isn't he? So let's go ahead and bring him down. And that makes sense. Let's go ahead and get him in position here. Camarillo Brillo by Zappa is okay, but the version he plays at double speed is epic. You gotta play you gotta play a song at the right speed, you know. Too slow, it's just not right. Too fast, it's not expressive enough. It's gotta be just right. Okay, what do you guys think of this fun boy? We'll put some fangs in there, make him cute. So how do they move? Is it physics? Do they have rigid bodies? Little knowledge of how that movement works would be fun. No, they are skeletal animations only, no rigid bodies. That tends to be a little expensive, especially when you have a lot of things on screen. So it's skeletal animation. I take the geometry of the characters and I make them children of the skeleton bones, and that's how they move. You can see our little other blob enemy just here. I better hold on. Sorry, the count. I'm not sure if our club's doing songs in different groups, so I'm not sure if I'm doing Star of the County Down, but I should probably practice it anyway. Star of the County. Okay, so what have I got here for screen? As I was going over the far from Kerry Mountains. Let's see. Wagon Wheel, I have Star of the County Down in here. I did tell me ma. Galway Girl. Are we doing Galway Girl? No, actually, I don't know how to do that one. Okay. All right. We are doing Dirty Old Town. Okay, that's a G. Met my love by the gasworks road. Are drifting across the moon. That's our pride on their feet. Springs a girl from the streets at night. Dirty old town, dirty old town. There's an instrumental here. I'm going to skip that. Heard a siren from the hills. Saw a train set the night on fire. Smelled a spring on the smoky wind. Dirty old town. No, I misread it. Gasworks Wall. Dreamed a dream by the old canal. I kissed my girl by the factory wall. Dirty old town. That's wrong on there. Dirty old town. Time Punk, you got a game on Switch right now. What's it called? Let us know the name of your game that you got there. That's awesome. Hey, Lunar Knights, good to see you. I've got to practice for Patty's Day. I've been doing modeling, preparing more stuff for Breath of Thunder, but it's Patty's Day tomorrow, so I have to practice my music that I'll be playing at the pub tomorrow. I don't think we're doing Wagon Wheel. I know a luthier A friend of mine in California is a luthier, and he does not like wagon wheel because it's absolutely overplayed. He hands out stickers that say no more wagon wheel. Man, the F chord on this thing sucks. Is there a shortcut to play an F chord on an octave mandolin of this scale? Because it's a brutal chord, I'm telling you. Mandolin, F chord. Shit, what can I do here? What? Some people say it like that. Okay. Well, they're playing it like that. I would have done that. I'm going to try that. Anyway, if you've got to head out, take care. Good to see you. Dude, this is skill. Wish you could perform here in Taiwan. We have James Joyce Irish bar. Hey, that's cool. It's cool to have an Irish bar. It's just a real environment and a real atmosphere. Be there tomorrow. We'll fly you out. That's awesome. You live in a van down by the old canal. Mike Garcia, are you still using Unity 3D? Unfortunately, I am still using it. I've made all my game frameworks, years of work that I've done use Unity, so I have to keep using it until I get a return on investment, and then I'm able to move to another game engine. Yeah, I believe that now that Unity is moving towards the right direction, I believe that there's a chance that they could make it great. Yeah, it's great. It's great hanging out, Lunar Nights. All right, I got to practice Whiskey in the Jar. Okay, A minor here. Okay, I got the tempo right. Can't fuck up like that. Sorry. Whoop. Lost my YouTube sponsorship just then. Oops. As I was far from there. Oops. This is why I have to practice, guys. As I was far from there mountains. What? Far from there mountains. Met the Captain Pharaoh and his money was captain. First produced my mistake, and then produced my river singing. Stand and deliver for your horrible mistake. This should bring the rock for the daddy-o. Rock for the daddy-o. There's whiskey in our jar. Counted out his money and it made a pretty penny. I put it in my pocket and I took it home to Jenny. She sighed and she swore that she never would deceive me. Devil take the wheel, joy never can be easy. Rock for the daddy-o, rock for the daddy-o. There's whiskey in the jar. I went into my chamber, all for to take a slumber. I dreamt of gold and jewels, and sure it was no wonder. Jenny drew my trousers, and she filled them out with water. I sent the Captain Pharaoh to be ready for the slaughter. Rock for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. 'Twas early in the morning, just before I rose to travel. Up comes the band of footmen, and likewise Captain Pharaoh. First produced my pistol, for she stole away my rapier. Shoot the water, so a prisoner I was taken. Must ring dum-a-doo-dum-a-doo. Rock for the daddy-o, rock for the daddy-o. Oh man, that F chord. Rock for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Now some take delight in the carriages a-rolling, and others take delight in the hurling and the bowling. But I take delight in the juice of the barley. Home and 25 in the morning, bright and early, wishing in the rock for the daddy-o, rock for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. If anyone can I gotta make sure I've got enough practice. Tomorrow's Patty's Day. I've got a lot of music to play. All right, what were we doing? What were we doing in terms of development here? Let me get caught up with the chat. I used to go to St. Patty's Day Parade in South Boston with your parents everywhere when you were a kid. Awesome. That must have been fun. I remember this mini wax soda bottles. What are those? What is that? So you taking some time off, Jerrel? I'm working half a day today. I'm doing Breath of Thunder. I'm hanging out with you guys on stream. I'm working half a day, and then I need to spend the rest of my day practicing my songs for Patty's Day. I'm playing at the pub tomorrow. So I am taking half a day off today. I don't like how everyone turned on Unity. It's got to be the best engine out there. I hate saying that it's the best one out there because from a business standpoint, it's really they've made horrible maneuvers in the past, but it's the engine I'm most comfortable with because it's the one that I really click with. I think the engine itself is great. It's broken, unfortunately, on many platforms. Like, there's so many quirks if you're making it on certain platforms, and basic core features are broken. But it sucks that even though those features are broken, it's still a very good engine in terms of just usability, the way that it's set up, So I still use it. I still support it, despite the fact that it's kind of made my life very difficult. But you got to stay on the positive side of things. This is my shock room. I got to make something shiny for that, What I need to do is go into Maya, and I need to separate the pieces of this. So I may as well do that now because I said that's what we're doing on stream. So, this is really disorganized right now, so I'm going to have to reorganize this. It's warm in here. I started rocking out. My studio doesn't have any air conditioning. Okay, so what we're going to do is we want to create a material, chakra 1, and we'll go ahead and use, this is my in-house. Now what I need to do, I want to separate that inner ring from the outer ring. I see what's going on here, so I need to generate normals for this guy. It's importing the normals. The shader kind of misbehaves a little bit, so we're going to calculate instead. That should fix it. Now, I'm going to open this bad boy in Maya. Okay, and we need a ramp shader as well, so we're going. I'm in my own way. I'm my own worst enemy right now. I'm my own worst enemy. Okay. But see, I want the central part to be able to be a different color. And the same with the sword, right? If you have a look at the sword here, I'll just dupe that. I gotta put some music back on as well. Sword 1, okay? This better not be some sad, slow music that's gonna play next. We'll do that one again. So you can see it's going to be all one color, right? We'll calculate. I better get caught up with the chat here. Okay, so what I want to do is separate the pieces here. So the handle and everything is attached, right? What I want to do is actually split them into materials how I showed you before. So I'm going to open this in Maya, and I'm going to assign different materials to the different components here. I'm going to do it a pretty easy way as well, so I'm going to show that in the Explorer. We'll get back to Maya, and I'll show you how to do that now. This is our good pal. Let's go ahead and close out of it now. This will be pretty easy. A couple ways to do it, but I'm really just going to select the faces here. There we go. Select that. I've selected the guard. I'll assign a new material. And I'll call that guard. Okay, so now the guard has its own material. Let's go ahead and right click. We're going to select that on the handle and we're going to assign material attributes. And we'll call this the handle. Okay. Go ahead and delete all light type, non-performance. I always do this just in case anything goes crazy when we export it back into Unity. Export all. And this was Sword 2, was it? Okay, great. Now, we're going to open that back up in Unity, and it will probably look a little something. It says, I don't know if I mucked that, oops. I don't know if I mucked that up. It should be 3, not 2. Okay. Give me Sword 2. The daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Okay, so we're going back into Unity now. Alright, I think that's correct now. So let's go ahead and we should be able to assign different materials to the parts of the sword now. So I'm just going to dupe that, Control D twice. Let's set the color on this, so Sword 2. It's best to give it a meaningful name, like Sword Handle and whatnot. So I'll do that now. Sword Handle 1. There we go, that's what I'm talking about. That's not the handle. That's the guard. And this will be the handle. Sword Handle 1. Okay, and let's pick a color for this guy. Something, you know what? Green is like a... That blends into the environment a little bit. Let's pick blue. Alright, great. Orange. Okay, now we have different colors on our sword. Great. So in order to really make something look reflective, actually the base color needs to have some darkness to it so that there can be shininess to it. See there? And so what I would have to do is I would do some normal calculations so I can get it to look sharp. That's something I can do later. It's a little boring. It's hard to make it look interesting. I'm just trying to get out of my own way here. There we go. A nice shiny... There we go. A nice shiny sword. Cool. Cool. We want to do the same for our chakram as well. My coffee is cold now. Let me get caught up with the chat. Your game sold 86 copies in 4 weeks. Yeah, I know the feeling. It's tough. It's tough to get people. It's tough to get people talking about your game. You know. Hold on. 1 second. Home I'd like to be. I have to remember this for Paddy's Day tomorrow. I cannot mess this up. Are you guys ready for All for My Grog? I need to practice. Again, I'm working. It's important that I work, but I also have to practice my music for Paddy's Day. I'm not sure. I think that song it got some funny looks from people, so I don't really do that one. Is this right? Is this right? Okay. Okay. What am I starting? I gotta know the starting out of that. And it's all for me gold, me doggy, doggy gold. All for me beer and tobacco. Well, I spent all me tin with the lasses drinking gin. All across the western ocean I was wander. Well, I'm sick in the head and I haven't been to bed since I first came ashore with me blunder. I've seen centipedes and snakes and me head is full of aches, and I'll have to make a path for way I'm yonder. And it's all for me gold, me jolly, jolly grog. All for me beer and tobacco. When I spent all me tin in the lasses drinking gin, far across the western ocean I must wander. Where are me boots, me noggin, noggin boots, all gone for beer and tobacco. See, the soles were getting thin and the uppers were letting in, and the heels were looking out for better weather. And it's all for me gold, me jolly, jolly gold. All for me beer and tobacco. Well, I spent all my tin with the lasses drinking gin, far across the western ocean I must wander. Where is me shirt, me noggin, noggin shirt? All for me beer and tobacco. Well, the sleeves are got wore out and the collar been turned about, and the tail's looking out for better weather. And it's all for me gold, me jolly, jolly gold. All for me beer and tobacco. Well, I spent all my tin in the lasses drinking gin, far across the western ocean I just wander. Where is me wife, me noggin, noggin wife? She's all gone for beer and tobacco. Well, her friends have gone wore out and her children came to her. I'm sure she's looking out for better weather. And it's all for me gold, me jolly, jolly gold. All for me beer and tobacco. Well, I spent all my tin in the lasses drinking gin, far across the western ocean I just wander. Where is me babe, me doggy, doggy babe? It's all gone for beer and tobacco. See, it's all into the girls till the strings are down twirls, and the sheets are looking out for better weather. And it's all for me gold, me jolly, jolly gold. All for me beer and tobacco. Well, I spent all my tin in the lasses drinking gin, far across the western ocean I must wander. Rock on! I'm practicing my Patty's Day music. Boy, I gotta make sure I don't forget those for Patty's Day. Ah, Jason, good to see you. Jerrel, how about we play each other's games on our YouTube? Yeah, let's do that. Make sure you drop your name in there. I'm not sure if I missed it in the comment, but let me know the name of the game. I'll put it in the Discord or whatever. If I had to relearn Unity, that 12 years of hell, gaining proficiency in anything takes so much time, and the idea of having to do it all again is kind of frustrating, isn't it? Man, this is like being in an Irish bar. You guys can grab yourself a drink, and I'll play the Irish music, and we can. I went to see some of my friends in my Irish club. They were playing at an inn last night, which sounds ridiculous. Like when you say the word inn like that, it makes it sound like you're in an RPG, like you're in a video game. They were playing at an inn. A bunch of us from our club were there, and just people were singing along. Everyone in the pub, everyone was there just hanging out and laughing and having a good time singing along with the music. And that's what life is all about, man. Just enjoying each other's company, and having something that you can enjoy and share together. And that's why I don't believe in this sort of hater culture. I don't think it actually exists. I think it's just people having fun. They're saying mean things on the internet. I don't think it matters at all. I think they're just people. They're looking for something to enjoy, and that's all it comes down to. So, Yeah. Let's go ahead and assign some. This shouldn't have an animator, by the way. That should not have that. So what I'm going to do now is bring this into Maya, and I'm just going to split up the center part of that chakram because I would like to have different graphics on the inside. So let's go ahead and just get rid of that. Okay. And where is mine chakram? Is that one? Or, I'm sure that's one. You have nearly 10K subs. Oh, man, that's awesome. It's hard to build subs, you know? It's such a challenge. And I'm not a YouTuber, so that makes it very difficult. I think I'm a little too boring for YouTube. I don't really know how to communicate. I don't know how to deal with haters because I think you're supposed to like engage with them, and it's like this fun back and forth, and you guys have like this fun thing going on, and I don't know how to do that. I don't know the right way to deal with haters. I know that people expect you to deal with haters in like this fun way, and I don't understand it. I'm out of touch, so I don't get it. So that's why I'm not really a good YouTuber. Well, I'm not a YouTuber. I don't set out to be a YouTuber. That's a whole skill. You have to engage in a very particular way, and I don't know how to do it. I just want to make sure I missed some of those faces there, so I just want to grab them. I'm not sure what my dog is barking at. Well, it's like really quiet. Let me grab these faces, and then I'm going to put some music back on. I grabbed the wrong face. I don't know what my dog's barking at. How's it going, Jason? How are you? Right click. Country. I think that song is a little too... I don't know what word I can say. I think that song is sexually forceful. I think that's the correct way to describe that song. I think that's why we don't like playing it. Oh, nay, never. No, nay, never, no more. I need to learn this. I need to get the tabs for this. I should probably play that tomorrow. No, never, no more. Great. You can see that it is split up now. Let's go ahead and get some different colors on there for the chakra, different materials. Okay, let's make this one a gold. It sticks out, it's nice, it stands out. And make it a little more... You want the metal, the sharp part should be the shiniest part, so it stands out. There we go. What do you guys think of that? How was that? No, never, no more. I'm in my own way. Sick. All right. Check out our chakra. All right. It catches the light in an interesting way. We got some color in the middle. So this is Strike. Strike uses throwing weapons. So like his first weapons, you know, eventually he'll have access to chakrams, things like that. So that's his sort of thing, you know. But you also need to figure out a way to fit it into the character's hands and all that. Let me get caught up with the chat here. I think I might take a quick break and just refill my coffee. X Rocket Shark 216XX. Hey, good to see you. My PS1 stopped registering button inputs from any of my controllers randomly, so your day was kind of bled. Ooh, I've never heard of that. I would be really upset. I'd be upset, especially my PS1 has a mod chip in it, and I don't even know where you get mod chips anymore, so I'd be really upset if my PS1 stopped reading inputs. Man, I hope you can get that fixed. IDK, if you saw it, buddy, but I did a vid for your tasty itchy vibe check. Hey, thanks, I'll check it out. Did you put it in like the Discord? We have like a self-promo in the Discord. I don't know if you're on the Discord or anything. I'll check it out. Appreciate that. I'm sorry. I'm kind of caught up right now on Rocket Shark's broken PS1. It's genuinely upset me because in my mind I'm like, what am I gonna do if my PS1 stops working? Ooh. No permission on Discord. I don't know what that means. Travis P. Hey, good to see you. Thanks for coming and hanging out. I've been making a lot of game assets in my spare time recently, and it's devs like you that inspire me. Oh, I really appreciate that. I'm completely self-taught in 3D modeling and writing. Thank you for carrying the torch. Look, I just want to show people that if there's something that you want to do, then you can do it. You know, I'm literally the most normal dude. I'm not particularly exceptionally skilled in any particular game development area. I'm so normal. I'm probably just the most normal in terms of like skill level and potential. I'm the most normal person you're ever going to meet when it comes to that stuff. There are people out there who have exceptionally way more skill and potential than I do. And I just want to show people that, look, if this really normal guy can do it, you can do it too. And there's a very strong chance that you are going to excel at least one of those things way better than me. And that's really what I want to show people. So no matter what negativity comes my way, no matter if I'm able to produce something that's, you know, super impressive or not, that doesn't matter. I just have to keep doing what I'm doing because I believe in it. Alright, here's one I think we can all sing along to. I'm going to pause the music here. Well, where'd my HDMI go? My HDMI disappeared. Please come back. Thank you very much. All right, I have to practice this one as well. Man, I've got a lot of work to do, guys. Okay. I need to make sure I do not mess these songs up. You're supposed to play this up-tempo. It's Patty's Day. It's up-tempo. Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is over there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, blue like a breeze. Country roads take me home to the place that belongs, West Virginia. Mountain mama, take me home, country roads. All my memories gather in her. Mama's lady straight to the water. Dark and dusty, painted on the sky. Misty taste of moonshine, teardrop in my eye. Country road, take me home to that place that belongs, West Virginia. Mountain mama, take me home, country roads. I hear her voice in the morning as she calls me. Radio reminds me of my home far away. Driving down the road, I get the feeling that I should have been from yesterday. Yesterday. That's not D7 at all. Day, country roads, take me home to that place that belongs, West Virginia. Mountain mama, take me home, country road. What's it one time now? Country roads, take me home to that place that belongs, West Virginia. Okay, now back to game development. All right. Hey, Pseudonym, good to see you. Thanks for coming to hang out. Yeah. Travis Pete, great. It's so much fun hanging out with you guys. Like, look, I'm not a content creator. I'm not a YouTuber. And so for me, like this kind of thing, it literally just feels like hanging out with people. And what I really hate, I absolutely hate this. I don't think it's good to complain so much. I try to not complain so much. But something that really irritates me with YouTubers is when they use the word friends and they call people friends. So that's manipulation. It's manipulation because you and I, like, you guys have friends in your real life. You know, you have people who matter to you. You're closely connected. And I have my friends. And when you talk to people on the internet, especially when there's this weird connection, like subscribe to my Patreon and, you know, send me tips on YouTube. I'm sorry, I'm old, I'm out of touch. I don't understand all of that. Leveraging the fact that you're calling someone friend and then you're saying subscribe to my Patreon, I think it's sick, but it's also sad that this is, for some people, that's their only option, you know, to make money. That's the choice that they've made. So I'm not going to say negative things about, you know, YouTubers. That's not my intention. But I think it's gross to use the word friend to people you don't know to try to get them to pay money. So I would never call you guys my friends, which sounds mean, but I mean that as a point of respect. In that if I were to do that, it would be manipulation if I called you guys my friends. So I think of you guys more as like colleagues. I think of you guys as like work friends, you know, work colleagues, work friends, you know. But I wouldn't say, hey, you're my friend, now go to my Patreon. I think it's gross. So for me, like, I think that's why I will never be a successful YouTuber or an online content creator, because I don't have that mentality of I'll do whatever it takes to build an audience and to earn money out of it. I have a strong moral line, and I'm not going to cross it ever, and that limits the amount of money that I'll be able to make through this sort of thing. And hey, man, life isn't all about money. It's about sticking by your guns. It's about fighting for what you believe in. It's about making something beautiful for people, making something they can enjoy and believe in. So you're not my friend. Sorry to say it, but you are like a work colleague to me. You are like a work friend. And that's and I think that's fun, because you know what work friends can do? Work friends can go out after work and they can get a beer together at the bar. They can go to Denny's at 2 a.m. and they can get a coffee and they can all get food poisoning together. And at the end of the day, that's what I really want with you guys, is I want to build this sense of we're work friends, and I would like us all to go to Denny's at 2 a.m. and get food poisoning. And that's really what I want for all of us. Theo Gautier, hey, thanks for coming to hang out. Good to see you. If I'm watching someone stream, they're an acquaintance at best. Yeah, absolutely. You know, I hate the idea of the parasocial relationship and how content creators exploit that. So I'm not a content creator. But we're like work friends. Did you ever play Phantasy Star Online? No! Hey, Tim Allen, good to see you. I haven't, but friends of mine really enjoyed Phantasy Star Online, and that's so cool. Yeah. One thing I accidentally disabled from the PC version of the playable teaser, I turned off the some of the visual effects. Right now it's cranked up too high because I was just doing some tests. There's just supposed to be this soft, hazy glow to it that feels sort of like a magical sort of a thing. I'm having a hard time seeing the colors. Okay, commit to the bit. Commit to the bit. Come on, Jerrel, you can do it. Commit to the bit. Even if you can't see the screen properly, my bit was to wear the glasses. I have to commit to the bit. Okay, let me see if I can boot up like a dungeon area for you. Yeah, that'll be fun. I should have one in here. Let me see what I've got. Cave. Give me a second here. I should have this in here, and I can show you. So I'm working on an upcoming demo, and I'm going to put a cave in there that you guys can run around, fight some baddies in. So I'll just give you an early look at that. Let me make sure the cave is in here. I got a cave test in here. Let's open it up. Okay. Are there any requests? I might do song requests. We'll see. We'll see if I can work it out. Okay. Okay, so this is the test cave. I will just delete that. Oops. You know, we'll leave that there. I put that there as a placeholder. I remember now. So let me show you this cave. So I use Micro Splat for the terrain renderer for the height blending, which I really like. That's new. That's new. No, that's not what I want. I've done something wrong here. Hold on. I'm in my own way. I am in my own way. Hold on, for starters, hold on. Let's get that back to standard real quick. Okay. Terrain collider, micro splat, terrain performance, convert to micro splat. So I'll just create a little, the cave's fully modeled. I have to fill it with details. There's going to be Trazier, some enemies and whatnot. Let me get caught up. Would it be endearing or offensive if I called you Chief Miyamoto? Bing Bing Wahoo, good to see you. Look, I'm not your mother, so I cannot tell you what to do. I will never tell you what to do or not do. I'm not your mother. So you can do whatever you want, man. You do what you want. The Reflection Pro is way up there. If I run this, hold on, the core is in there. Okay. So we're just going to run it really quick, and we should see what this is going to look like. Of course, I'm going to have to make some adjustments to make sure that everything displays properly. I need to make another coffee as well if we're going to keep hanging out. So, you just spent a year making a game and now I'm about to be homeless. I have 100% absolutely been there, 100%. It's a real possibility. All you need is for like 2 people on the internet to say your game is garbage and it's the worst thing they've ever seen, and you can have spent an entire year, you can have thousands of hours developing a game and you won't make any money out of it because 1 or 2 people on the internet said it's the worst thing they've ever played. And that's the reality of it. That's, there isn't a point in complaining about it. It's a shame that that's just how it works. That's the industry. So what you've got to do is you got to stick to your guns, man. And if it's something that you really believe that you should be doing, then fight for it. You just fight, you do your best, and you make the best game that you can. Yeah, that's how it works. This is a little bit, I'll show you, this is what the caves look like. I'm going to have to do significant adjustments on the visuals, of course. This is just a placeholder. Let's just start sticking some baddies in here, though, That water looks like a nuclear accident site. What will the battle system be reminiscent of? Will it be more like old school Final Fantasy, or will it have tricks up its sleeve? There's a lot of mechanical complexity to it. I would say it's probably going to be similar to something like Final Fantasy X because of the way that your character's speed is calculated, and you can get multiple actions, but also the enemies can get multiple actions. So the fast characters have a huge advantage. So I'd say it's most similar to something like Final Fantasy X. There's a lot of mechanical complexity to it. There's going to be a heavy focus on elemental resistance and weaknesses, and if you want enemies to drop parts that you can use for crafting, you have to defeat them using an element that they are weak to. So there's a lot to it as well. So yeah, I'm going for a sort of a hand-drawn look, but of course I need to smoothen out the walls and the edges here and all that. Can you play anything by the Cars? I like listening to 70s, 80s, and 90s rock, and recently became obsessed with them. Oh, I don't know anything about the Cars. I'll have to look them up. I'm not very familiar with the Cars at all. You like stuff from the 70s. What have I got? I don't even know what I've got here. I'll do something for you. You want stuff from the 70s and 80s, huh? Okay, here we go. Alright, this is my auto harp. I haven't tuned it up in a couple of weeks because I've been so busy working, so let me see how it sounds. It may sound too bad to play. Let me see what we got going on here. I'm gonna play you something. Here we go. enough. Let me lower the camera too. A little high, isn't it? There we go. All right, let me put some music up. If you want something, you want some old-timey music, huh? You want the classics? Let's play some classics. All right, I'm going to play a classic song here. Maybe you've heard of it, maybe you haven't heard of it. We'll see. Let's see in the comments, let's see how quickly you can identify it. I suspect there are some people that might be able to tell what it is right away. I saw it, shimmering light. It grew heavy and my sight grew dim. Had to stop for the night. There she stood in the doorway, heard the mission bell. I was thinking to myself, this could be heaven or this could be hell. Then she lit up a candle and she showed me the way. There were voices down the corridor. Thought I heard them say, welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely face. Plenty of room at the Hotel California. Any time of year, you can find it here. Anyway, there's a little bit of that. There you go. Played a little bit of the classics. I don't know the cars, but I do know some classics. Oops. All right. I'll get back to showing you a bit more of this here. So, what we'll do, the monster that we modeled earlier, he'll appear in this cave as well. Maybe I'll make some like rock monsters or something. We'll jam them all up in there. But yeah, this is the cave area that I'll be adding to the demo. I need to add details, you know, rocks, stalagmites, stalactites. Does anyone in the comment section know the difference? Don't use Google. You're not allowed to use Google. You have to comment if you think stalagmite is the one. Okay, stalagmite. Is it the one that goes up or the one that goes down? Because those are different names. In the comment section, say if you think the one that goes up, is that going to be a stalagmite or stalactite? A pseudonym, would someone be willing to test my game on the hidden switch browser? What does that mean? How do you do that? How do you do that? I'm also going to add, I'll add dust and clouds in here and some more variety in terms of the texture that we see here. So yeah. Well, I've updated the Vita playable teaser as well, so it runs better, it runs at a better frame rate, and it's a higher resolution as well. I've just temporarily disabled shadows. Right now it's causing just a memory or a performance overhead on the Vita that's just too much. Okay, I need to smoothen this out as well. I originally made this, I just wanted to see it running on the 3DS. Excuse me. So it was, the resolution is significantly lower. What I'm going to do is use a tool so I can make the resolution better. And what I might do as well, I might make it so that the player has like a torch, a lamp to give this place some atmosphere instead of relying on this bright. You know what, let's go ahead and try that. Let's just do that. I think it'll be fun. Okay. We'll do that now. And I gotta make sure to put my music back on as well. We gotta keep the vibe going, right? Oh, we have lantern light here. It's not outdoors. What are you guys doing for Paddy's Day? Soft shadows. Let's go ahead and turn that on. Okay. So we want the lighting to be, generally it's good to go blue for your shadows as it's a nice contrast, as light tends to be a warm color. Let's go ahead and get our sunlight here, and we're going to dial that right on down. Let's just run this and see what it looks like. When you were a kid, you truly thought X-ray glasses were a thing, severely disappointed. Oh, you don't think X-ray glasses are real, huh? This is the future, baby. These glasses let me shoot lasers out of my eyeballs. I got tiger blood. This is 3D X-ray. Why am I zoomed in so far? What happened? I don't know what happened. Zoomed in like crazy. So I'm a lantern light. I'm going to go ahead and just remove the logic there. So a lantern light. Probably go something like that. Let's try that. What in tarnation? Something's gone wrong here. Something's gone wrong. So let me figure out. I want to make sure the culling mask is on everything. Yeah. Oh, there is some fog in the cave right now. Okay. You know what? You know what's going on here? It is on. It's not being... Okay, something's gone real funny here. Okay, so the camera is there. Camera gameplay, field of view 15. Oh, you know what? Because there's different logic. I programmed different logic. If the room says that it's indoors, the camera naturally zooms in like crazy. That's what's gone. That's what's up. There we go. Let's go ahead and bring that back just a little bit by doing that. Because I like that sense of claustrophobia, you know? Anyway, we'll leave that there for now. I'll fix that later. That's boring stuff to fix. And let me get caught up on the chat as well. See, we need the light to move forward a little bit as well. So this is what the what cave areas will look like here. So let's go ahead and grab our lantern light and move that forward just a little bit. Time to get caught up on the chat. Stupid question, but did you move the camera? No, I have in-game logic that says that if the room is indoors, it will push the camera in pretty close. And that's because, you know, like, when you go into a house or something like that, you know. I'll fix that later. Okay, I will get caught up on the chat. I'm scrolling up. Patty's Day, not sure if you have that in Germany. I've moved my light too far forward. As you can see, I need to bring that back a little bit. I have some German zithers. They're antique zithers. I'm restoring a couple. Drinking the pain away. Dang. The game, okay, so far this is set to launch on Nintendo Switch, PC, Atari VCS, and Steam. What? How did I get to 8? That was my fault. I accept responsibility for that. Lee Comstock, hey, you've been doing game development today as well. Awesome. What are you working on, Lee? Patty's Day. I'm not sure if we have that here in Germany. Maybe I'll guess the god, maybe not. Oh, and again, I'll just adjust the logic. I have that. It's just a little bit of programming. It's just boring, simple stuff that I can do later. Okay, yeah. We got our indoor area here. Last night, I stabbed a Little Caesars pizza box in anticipation of today. I could go for a pizza right now. Honestly, I haven't had Little Caesars in ages. I don't mind Domino's. Like, okay, yeah, they're not the best quality, but it's like, it's comfort food. I haven't had a Domino's in ages. It's actually past my lunchtime. Maybe I should go and get a pizza or something. Read up, man. When the mites go up, the tights come down. Help me learn this stuff. Hi, good to see you. Thanks for coming to hang out. I think this is your game's way of telling you it needs a field of view slider. The game speaks. It's talking to me. This dungeon needs enemies. Yeah, totally. Absolutely. Man, we sang this in assembly. Time Punk, which song were you singing in assembly? What about the Saturn version? I've taken that off the table for now. All of the legacy consoles and stuff, because instead of, I thought people would say, "Oh, yeah, it'd be really cool." There's a handful of people that said that'd be cool, but I wasn't getting like a huge support in terms of backers. I wasn't getting significant support in terms of backing because of the legacy stuff, and in fact, it was earning criticism. So I removed the legacy consoles. Because the amount of criticism and negativity versus the amount of backers was not beneficial to the Kickstarter project. So I'm not aiming at the legacy consoles right now. So here are a couple things that I need to keep in mind. Like here, the camera is in such a way to where I can't really see the walking path. So it's important to test this stuff, and you know that's something you have to adjust accordingly. If I took off the indoor flag, I know that would work properly. But the game functions, like the game framework functions differently if it's, indoor versus outdoor. So that's why I have to use that sort of flag in there. Let's go ahead and grab an enemy, one of our free roaming dudes. Just drop him in there. Okay, so that basically looks fine. Of course, I need to do more detail work. Just a quick feedback. What about making some new animations for the characters when they run, like every character with a unique walking animation? You could do that. Absolutely. I have that set up, but at this point it's not important. It's not really important. It doesn't really matter, and the vast majority of the time the camera's out so far that it doesn't matter at this point. And in general, the camera stays pretty far back. So my system does account for that, and you can implement that, but there isn't a point for it at this point. Hold on. I have random enemy logic, and I'm just going to remove it so I can start playing. Where is he? Where did he go? Okay. Also, Unity has this absurd quirk. I really hate this. It's so ridiculous. When your camera is close to the zero origin of the... I'll hide this for now. When your camera is close to the origin of your scene, there's a significant performance hit because there's a higher accuracy. The closer you are, the float accuracy is closer to the origin of your room, so you get a ridiculous performance hit, and your game just runs worse when you're close to the center of your room. I have a lot of choice words for that. It is obnoxious, it's frustrating, and then things get worse the farther you get from the origin, which is, the 0 point of the room. And there's so many, it's something we have to deal with as developers. But there's a number of my games where I realized the reason why they run so slow in certain spots is because the camera is basically right on the 0 point of the room, and it took me years to understand what was happening. It's because the closer you are to the 0 point, you get more float accuracy, which causes the game to run just way worse. It's irritating, but you shouldn't complain about things. You just get the job done, do what you need to do to get the job done. So I'll show you what's going to happen. Because I have not created a battle environment, battle environments have to be created separately, so I'll show you what will happen if I do not create a battle environment. So we're going to chuck some enemies in there and run it. I don't feel like adjusting the camera, there's no point right now. We'll get into a battle with that guy. So I haven't made a battle scene, so this is what happens. We're in the void now, fellas. This is the void. Welcome to Magenta. Welcome to my Magenta world. This is my Bankai Stage 2. This is my, what's the Jujutsu Kaisen thing? I don't know anything about it. I've heard people talking about it. My Bankai is I trap people in the Magenta void. It lets them know that they have a material, a shader error in Unity. So welcome to my Magenta void. Your shaders will never compile. Once my Bankai activates, none of your shaders will compile correctly. Domain expansion, there we go. My domain expansion prevents your shaders from compiling, and so everything is magenta. Do you have concept arts? I have tons of concept art for a lot of my previous projects, but these days I generally use a process called concept on canvas, where I create my work on the canvas. So the work that I'm creating on the fly is basically the concept art and the actual in-game asset. I only do that because I work solo and I don't have a reason to create concept art because I don't have to hand that off to another artist. I usually give my designs thought ahead of time before I do anywhere near close to the canvas. I spend a couple days conceptualizing internally in my head what I want to make, so that when I get to the canvas, usually sculpting, with a tablet, concept on canvas, I put it directly on the canvas, and that's it. And that saves me time. It's how I'm able to get work done so fast. Is this going to be a franchise or too soon to tell? It's too soon to tell. I'm making one game, and that's it. And I wanted to make games on other platforms, but at this point I need to wait and see how well this game does. If people want to play it, if they enjoy it, if they buy it. really how well this game sells will determine if it's going to be a franchise or not, because I already have so many other IPs that I'm working on at the moment that need my attention. So we'll see. I'll practice one more thing, and then I gotta log out. I'm gonna have to wrap up development for the day. I need to spend the rest of the day practicing my music here. So let me see what I've got. Let's go ahead and kill the music. So yeah, we'll chat a little bit. I'll just hang out with you guys. Let's make some eye contact. It's been weird not making eye contact with you guys. Let's chat. We'll hang out. We'll talk about whatever you want. My head is the ultimate game engine. Yeah, totally. You know, the power of imagination. It's so fast to work with and it has amazing features out of the box. It doesn't have any target platforms, so I can't release them. I find that like you tend to get a lot of you run out of RAM when you're using your head game engine. It tends to crash kind of often. Okay, so I'm going over to far from getting up. Okay, I don't think we're doing wagon wheel. I think we have to do Star of the County Down. I'm going to practice that one on my own because I don't do that one that much. When I go home, don't do Galway Girl. I don't do Brown Eyed Girl because oh, I think we are. Oh, shoot. I'm going to have to ask my club members. There's Rover. I think I'm doing 7 Drunken Nights. I'll do Merchant Durkin because that's one that I know that I am doing for certain. Okay, guys, so I gotta practice. 1 second. All right. I haven't been playing fiddle very long. I actually taught myself fiddle just to do music for Silver Falls games. Here we go. This is not in tune. Whoa. Hold on. This is not in tune. Sorry about that. Yep. An ad popped up on my tuner, so I now have to watch this weird ad. I don't know what the heck this is. Some guy spanking some secretary. This ad just came up. I don't know what this is. I don't know. That's inappropriate. Why is it showing up? Why is this happening? Why? Guys, I don't understand the internet. Oh boy. I don't know where my rosin is. I've got to find my rosin. I haven't rosin this thing in all week. It's a little sharp. I'm going to live with it. Who cares? Gentlemen, it has been a pleasure playing with you. There's my Titanic reference for the day. You get one Titanic reference a day, and that's all you get. You should get in touch with MVG. I'm a big fan of MVG. I've been watching him for years. you go. If there's any Civil War reenactors out there, rock on. I hope that that was sufficient for your reenactment. I haven't been playing very long. I'm still actively working on improving and getting significantly better at the fiddle. But I'm at a point where I can record music for Silver Falls. I can record and compose for the fiddle. So it's good enough for that, but I'm constantly pushing to improve as well. So what I'm going to have to do is create a whole new terrain. I'll wait until I finish building this one, right? I'll wait until I finish the map, and then I will create the battle environment. So I'll get there. All right, it's getting kind of warm here in my studio. I don't have air conditioning in the studio, so I'm going to wrap things up here. We'll just hang out and chat a little bit more. We can talk about whatever we want, and then in a couple of minutes I'll wrap up, and then I'll make myself some lunch, and then I got to go practice. Hey, Kenny, good to see you. Thanks for coming to hang out. Good to see you. Dixie, yeah, rock on. Did you guys enjoy the hoedown? I'm not super experienced with playing quite fast like that, so I'm getting used to the sort of the hoedown, the dancing on the fiddle, and all that. Andre and Saya Devano, hey, good to see you. Bummed you missed most of the stream. Well, I'll do more streams in the future as well. Kind of want to ask about Breath of Thunder. Its title reminded me of Breath of Fire, so did you get inspired with that game? Breath of Thunder is a title that I picked because I wanted to pay homage to my favorite childhood RPG. That was my first RPG that inspired me. It made me want to make RPGs, and so Breath of Fire is probably the most important game to me in terms of my influences growing up, and what made me want to become a game developer was Breath of Fire. So I picked that title to pay homage to Breath of Fire, and also I knew that it was going to make some noise because people would say, oh, it sounds like Breath of Fire. I was hoping it would get Capcom's attention, and it would remind Capcom that people would still like Breath of Fire. Dear Lord Capcom, please make another one. Why did you kill Breath of Fire? So that's really why I picked Breath of Thunder, was I knew it was going to make some noise, and hopefully it would remind Capcom that they have Breath of Fire and that people still want them to make another Breath of Fire game. So there we go. Haven't been able to play it yet, but Atomic Heart seems to be pretty awesome too, a Rocket Shark, and you might like Metro Exodus too. I'll have to look those up. Yeah. You play like a gent on a sinking ship. Well, it's been a pleasure playing with you, gentlemen. When you start playing violin, Kenny Shalafo music appeared. Have you ever played Final Fantasy? What do you eat? I try to stay away from like deep fried foods and very fatty things. I try to eat healthily, but this is bad. This is bad advice. I don't want to give you bad advice. This is awful. This is horrible. I try to eat healthy. Sometimes the food is kind of boring and whatnot. So I try to keep low fat, low carb sort of thing. I don't want too many calories, but I try to have like a lean diet, and I try to eat healthily, because when you need a pick-me-up, something like a big juicy burger does the trick. It just like, you get tons more energy, and it improves your mood from eating a big juicy burger. And you should not eat big greasy juicy burgers all the time. Not great for you. But I think if you maintain a pretty healthy diet, you can have a burger once in a while, and it's not really going to be that bad for you. So that's my trick. It's bad advice. Please don't take that advice. But if I'm working, if I'm really worn out from work because it's long hours, and it just feels like I'm not making great progress, and then I look online and I see that my games are not selling well, it's a bit of a bummer. When I need to pick me up, I know that I can go grab like a pizza or a burger, and I know that I've eaten so, you know, disciplined for the past month. It's all right if I just go grab a burger or a pizza or a burger and put it on top of a pizza, and that makes me feel better. Stress eating is not good. That is not the right way to deal with stress. But nobody's perfect, all right? Okay, so don't take that advice. It's bad advice. Are we ignoring Breath of the Wild? Breath of Wild. I can play Sean Ryan's Polka, the tune from the pub dancing scene in Titanic. Oh, that's awesome. You can play that. Oh, that's really cool. Proceeds to fall apart with the boat. I just don't want to give people bad advice, but food pick-me-ups work. I hate to say it, but they work. The Irish do polkas too, though they aren't quite like polkas most would assume. They got jigs and reels and, you know, the fun stuff. So yeah, I don't know what else. I'm gonna. This is it. This is my half work day. I've worked enough on this for today, and we're just gonna hang out and chat for a couple more minutes. I'm gonna get myself some lunch, and then I need to practice more music. I can do. I accidentally found a skill on the fiddle. So I was watching videos of Sam Bush, who I think is brilliant. Oh man, it's great watching Sam Bush. And he was playing fiddle in one of his videos on YouTube. He's quite a prolific musician and performer. And he was singing and playing fiddle simultaneously. And I was just kind of thinking, like, man, you don't have to like flex on people. It's kind of showing off at that point. And I was, you know, I was salty because I was early on in my fiddle playing journey, and obviously I wasn't very good. Watching someone who has decades of experience just flex on people, I was kind of like, man, you don't have to flex on people like that, you know. And then I was playing Wild Mountain Time, I think. What? And so I found out by accident that I was able to play and sing simultaneously. It's a little out of tune. I didn't want to have to go through the whole rigmarole. I don't have fine tuners on the bottom two there. So I found out by accident one day that I was able to play and sing simultaneously, and I thought, like, oh shit, how did I do that? I don't know. It's difficult, especially when you're trying to do your vibrato and you have your accents in there, and you have your sort of flourishes. It's quite difficult to do that and sing at the same time. I don't know how I did it. I just need to know that I can't stop. If I stop, I'll never be able to start again. That kind of sort of existential crisis. You do realize Breath of Wild is one of the biggest games right now. Might be why people think you're taking the piss. Hey, I picked the name and I picked it, and I gotta live with it. That's how it is. It's a little bit like a Boy Named Sue situation, How long have you been playing? About... maybe 2 years, a year and a half to 2 years, I've been playing fiddle. But I've been like brute forcing my way into learning other instruments as well, like the mandolin and the banjo. I haven't been playing banjo very long, but I really enjoy it. It's really fun. I really enjoy 5-string, 4-string, 6-string, however many strings. So that's really cool. Are you on Collage? I don't know Collage. Do you know a place where I can send fan arts to you? To who? To who? I don't know. I don't know. There's like Twitter or Discord. I'm not very good at the internet, honestly. Jason, you've been playing 24 plus years, and there's only a small handful of songs I can play and sing at the same time. It's very hard to do. It is. Oh no, on the guitar, if you're playing a riff, there's no way I could sing and do guitar simultaneously. No way. The no string. I think a lot of people prefer the no string banjo. You played banjo for years, though. Nice, nice. You meant the place, like the place where you study. I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm college. I must have missed a whole chunk of conversation here. Yeah, I did my education in Sydney, Australia. And, I mean, it sounds like a joke. I was literally, like, down the street from the Opera House and the bridge. That's just, when you're in Sydney, you're always down the street from the Opera House. That's, ha ha ha, But it is. It's so central. The Opera House is so central to Sydney. Well, it's been great. It's been so awesome. It's been so awesome hanging out and chatting with everyone. Hope you enjoyed looking at Breath of Thunder behind the scenes and just working on stuff. I'm out of focus here. Come on. Yep. Yeah, I hope that's been interesting for you. I hope you enjoyed having a look at that. Okay, it's been so much fun hanging out, playing music with you guys. I'm going to grab some lunch, then I'm taking the rest of the day off work. I have to practice my songs, and I'm playing at the pub tomorrow with my Irish club. So we're going to be playing Irish music all day long for Paddy's Day. Everybody, please stay safe out there. Don't drink and drive. Have a designated driver. Be safe. Awesome. Take care, everyone. Be well. Thanks so much for hanging out on the stream. It's been a lot of fun. I'll see you around. Be well. Okay, and everyone, I guess my ending catchphrase is, all right, it's 2 a.m. Let's go to Denny's and get food poisoning. Yeah, that's my catchphrase now.